Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Game 1 between China A and China B. Now, a couple things to get out of the way here, because as you know, Twitch audience, this is probably going to be on YouTube at some point. This is a best of 7 in an event, which is called the 2v2 World Cup. Now, because there's so many good Chinese players, the tournament host decided to have a face-off, essentially, in a best of 7 between China A, otherwise known as SY, and China B, otherwise known as Frantic, with their clans. So this best of 7 is in the round of 16, and whoever will advance on. But it's a little bit different than any World Cup, of course, because we actually have 2 from the same country. In the red, we have Mr. Yo for China A. He's playing as the Britons. His ally is Lix. These guys have been in the community for years and years, and they're incredibly good. Lix is playing as the Franks. In the green, we have Tim. Tim is playing as the Ethiopians. And then I think we have a fan favorite here in the blue, really DL, aka So Big DL, aka the Fat Dragon. And he's playing as the Persians. The settings for this tournament are pretty simple. You cannot reuse civilizations throughout the set. So that means that we will no longer see Persians for China B throughout this series. And that is the same for any other civ that's seen for any team. Also, whoever loses Game 1 gets to choose their home map from the civ pool for Game 2. And I will tell you guys what that will be, and you will see that, of course, if you stick around. I think that the civs are slightly stronger, and I mean slightly stronger for Yo's team, but the thought process is the same. You want one strong knight civilization, one strong archer civilization, and Vivi, he tends to play with the scouts into knights for his team, and Tim tends to play with the archers, and then Yo, he tends to play with the archers for his team, while Lix tends to play with the knights. Alright, well, let's look at the map, shall we? This is Arabia. This is a map we see frequently in Age of Empires 2. And golds can be on hills and awkward, and you can see for China A they are. Main and secondary gold, really tough for Lix. It's going to be tough for him to lock that down. On the bright side, he does have a back gold. And on the bright side, he's also Franks, so he'll probably advance to feudal age pretty quickly here. In comparison to Tim, you know, the archer civ normally goes up to feudal age later, so Lix might have the time. Yo, though, he'll need that gold for archers, and he'll be up against the fast uptime of Vivi. I do like Vivi's map a lot. You know, it's not great long term, but at least for the start, it's not bad. If he walls this off, he protects his gold. His berries are nice and close to the TC, and those are all very good starting positions. In the green, Tim, again, oh, I like this map. Look at that gold. That's perfect. It's great. So, guys, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I want to stick to the tournament. I want to stick to the tournament names with China A and China B. I understand that they're known as Frantic and SY, but I think we're doing 7 games. Even if it's confusing once, I think you all will figure it out. Yo is China A and Vivi's China B. I mean, I think we'll stick with that. I understand the comments from those in the Twitch chat, but Yo is always A. Exactly, Jordan. Exactly. There's a couple things you could see. Like Tim, if he has scouted Lix's base, and he has, he might consider going for man-at-arms or something because he sees the hills. So it doesn't necessarily have to be straight archers for all players. He could build a barracks early and go for something like man-at-arms. And I believe he might do that here. Okay. Well, I'm so excited for these games. Of course, YouTube, if you're seeing this, that means that this was a great, exceptional game. And the rest of the series will be in the video description as unlisted video. That is, of course, unless the whole series was insane and I upload everything. Which is possible. I might upload everything. Vivi is the first to advance to feudal age, but look at that. Lix and Yo right behind him. These are the 4 best players in China, in my opinion. Or maybe a 5th or a 6th out there, like maybe you could say that Happy could be considered in the top 4, but I think it's pretty clear that these are the top 4. And we're seeing who's the very best. I imagine there's probably very little lag as well, which is great, because they obviously are from the same country. Won't have that as an excuse. And I think I'll keep my eyes on Tim here. Lix, look, he's scouting this. Perfect play. Lix is here. He's like, oh, you're going man-at-arms. That's cool, bro. That's cool. I'm just going to follow this the whole way into my base. And he, of course, is going immediately for scouts, so he'll need to be very careful. Also, to those on Twitch chat, if you could give me a favor, because we're probably going to jump up. We jumped up from 1,600 viewers to 1,750. We'll probably jump up to over 2,000. There will be a lot of repeat questions. As a streamer, it's something that I'm used to, and I'm fine with answering questions, but if you guys happen to know the answer, people are curious about things, if you could use the Twitch chat to help people out, that would be really nice. Nice community thing to do. Alright, let's do this. Feudal Age begins. Tim, as Ethiopians, he gets plus 100 food, plus 100 gold. So it's essentially a free man-at-arms upgrade and then some. And here come his units now. Remember, Lix is prepared for this. Lix already has his stable up. Now, an issue for Lix is that he needs quite a few scouts to be able to deal with the man-at-arms. And he's built an outpost to see that the units are coming in. And 1 wall, 2 wall, 3 wall, 4 wall. Oh my god. That was so good. That was so good. The man-at-arms can't get in now. That was amazing. Well played. Obviously, the man-at-arms will force repairs. But nice response from Lix. And I like the outpost. I think without the outpost, he could have been surprised there. I think not enough players do that. The outpost is really not that expensive. So remember, Vivi will be sending Tim scouts. So Tim will be on the way to help these man-at-arms out. Or he could go directly to Yo. And Lix chooses to fight this one early. And that's a great start to the engagement, actually. He kills one unit, he micros away his weak scout, and I don't think the man-at-arms did near enough damage for Tim. Look at that micro from Lix. Doesn't lose a single unit, will kill the scout, and has killed the man-at-arms from Tim. Not a good investment for Tim to start. But, you know, he bought himself time and he's making archers anyway, just like Mr. Yo is for China A, so... Alright. Well, it's up to Vivi now. Let's see what the Fat Dragon can do. Here he comes, 4 full HP scouts going towards Yo. You need to work together, and the scout player will eventually try and meet up with their archer player. Both teams doing the same thing. And Yo should see this, and what does Yo do about these 3 scouts? He has the spear. I think he hasn't reacted to this, you know? A bit of a surprise he hasn't reacted to that. Compare that to Lix's reaction earlier. Yo was a little bit slow, and Yo loses the villain. And just like that, if he kills a villain, he takes a few hits from the TZ, but not that bad. So, China B, Vivi's team, with the aggression early on, and it finally pays off for them. Meanwhile, you'll see the scouts from Lix, and by the time he gets to Vivi's base, Vivi will be fully walled. And Vivi now goes for another Vil pick, and he's going to kill that. So Yo's down 2 villagers. Yo is the captain of SY. He's been known as the best Chinese player for a long, long time, with Tim and Vivi right behind him. And rough start for Mr. Yo. More scouts from Vivi, and the only team who's open is Yo's team. Yo and Lix are wide open. And they're playing passively. Oh, wait, was there a hole here? How did this happen? Is there a hole? Oh, there was a hole! Wow, so curse the commentator possibly. Vivi could be in trouble now. And I think Vivi will lose 1 Vil to this and then clean up the scouts. Yeah, he loses 1 Vil. Well, that's unfortunate. Did he lose 1 earlier? Yeah, that's a total of 2. So that evens it up a little bit. Well played, Lix. You know, you gotta make your own luck. You gotta get there. Vivi's back. The scouts have been so active this game. Vivi's back. And you see how he runs past the unit so we can get a few more hits. He kills another villager, man. And then here's Tim. And Tim has killed Lix's villager on the market. This is a really crazy game. Well, Yo is coming forward. A 2v1 on Vivi's about to happen. Lix still has more scouts here. Now, Vivi could be in trouble now because he needs Tim, and Tim is currently forward. Incredible start to this game, really. I mean, every single player under pressure except for Tim. And this hill is not going to be good for Vivi. Not going to be good for Vivi at all. Because now these scouts and these archers get a hill bonus versus the palisade gate, and that gate will melt. Vivi's forced into a tower. I really wonder what the uptimes are going to be to Castle Age, because everyone makes Feudal Age military, but the ultimate goal is to get to Castle Age fast after it. It's tough. Excuse me, it's tough for Vivi now. He has to defend with just some walls and towers. He doesn't have any military left. And he builds the tower. He loses his scout. And I think that Tim should probably go back home. I think if Tim comes here, he could find trouble. Vivi's close to clicking up to the next stage. Close. What about Lix? Lix is also very, very close. So they could have similar uptimes. And Lix is towering everywhere, which I really like. He's probably not happy that he had to do that, but it's a good move. Oh, wow. And Yo's in trouble because this... I mean, sorry. Vivi's in trouble because this is honestly his only wood line. He could go to this one, but it's not ideal to have to do that because that could be ranged as well. So good at the start, really rough as time goes on for Vivi, this map. And now Lix is on the way to Castle Age, Vivi's on the way to Castle Age. Keep in mind, Persian Knights, which Vivi will be making, they have a bonus versus archers. And Tim is here. Tim kills one. And he'll probably kill a few more of China A's units, and he will keep Vivi safe for now. Now, Tim's about to click up to Castle Age. Yo's about to click up to Castle Age, so again, very, very close. So we'll have the Frank Knights. They'll be stronger at the beginning because they get the Bloodlines upgrade for free. That's what Lix will be doing. And then we will have the Persian Knights, which get the bonus versus archers for Vivi. You could also make camels, of course. Oh, wow. Forward Vil from Lix? Oh, he's going to tower this, isn't he? He's already on stone. Wow. That's very rare to see in a team game. I wonder if Vivi can see that. Will Vivi see the Rudolph move? Did he see the deer move? He saw the deer move! I'm 100% certain he saw the deer move, because there's no other reason he would react like that. The fact that he can see that deer just blows my mind, man. People are like, T90 official, don't you get tired of this game? No way, man. These players are so good. Like, that's maybe happened once where I saw deer move in a game, and I've thought, okay, that must be a unit there. There's no other explanation. But he immediately reacted to that. That was awesome. Unfortunately, he did not kill the villager, but now, you know, even though his spears died, he knows that Yo's on the way. Yo will have Britain range, so he'll have 8 range on his crossbows, and this will be tough for Vivi. This would be very tough for Vivi. And it's funny, he had the brilliant move with the tower, and now he hasn't run his villagers away in time, and he loses 3. He does have knights on the way, but I fear that might not be enough. So full momentum for Yo and Lix, and that positioning with the archers is so dumb, man. Dumb as in good for Yo, of course. Like, I feel bad for Vivi, you know? You guys know I have a soft spot in my heart for him. The fact that this wood line has caused so many problems to him is real frustration. Now, Tim, he could maybe bounce back, and he just got his upgrades. He has the faster firing Ethiopian crossbows. He's going to Yo. And Yo hits the TC fire of Vivi, so he secures another woodline Vivi. Lix is sending knights towards Vivi, so full focus on the Fat Dragon. Tim needs to send units there to help, I feel. Now, Tim killed one of Yo's villagers, and he will get through. So this will get interesting. But I like Yo and Lix's positioning better in game 1. I like it a lot more. Also, Yo is insane with Britain crossbows. We've seen it in ECL. Obviously, they're all good players, but Tim's micro is so good, and he's getting ballistics now. And Tim knows he needs to buy himself a little bit of time. All of his military's forward, so he gates up, loses a Vil, but he'll get a TC up. And then here comes Lix in support, and here comes Yo with more military. These units will die. Tim's units did not do enough. Or did they? 2 more Vils picked off. Both the knights picked off. Vivi's safe now. Here comes Tim. Maybe they did. Just the fact that he's pulled all the army back is nice. Yo doesn't know where the next batch of crossbows is. He might be thinking that's going towards him, so he's sending his army back. And you know what? Yo's running all around in circles here. We talked about Vivi's map, but Yo doesn't have the best map either. It's just typical Arabia stuff. So the fact that Yo came back is huge. And where are the knights from Vivi? Here they come. So they're going towards Lix now. Now, comparing the Vil counts, Vivi has the most Vils in the game. He has 54. And it's not going to get any better for Lix. Lix is at 47, and here come Knights underneath his gold, and the crossbows are over here. Oh god, and Yo and Lix are completely caught out of position. They're back at Yo's base. They killed maybe 10, 15 crossbows of Tim, but they did not expect Vivi and Tim to show up this quickly. And Fat Dragon gets in, Fat Dragon leaves, and what a play. What a play. That gives China B, or Frantic, the Vil lead. Okay, so Yo has a big ball of crossbows. That's the problem. He has 40 of them. So he's way more than Tim. And if he takes an engagement, he's going to win it. So they were able to avoid Yo. They were able to distract Yo. But now, that's a lot. That's a lot to handle. And I think that they'll have to use the hills, Tim and Vivi. If they don't use the hills, they're probably going to be outnumbered. Vivi sends in a weak knight, I believe, just to scout, and Tim is now saying, okay, well, if they're there, we need to go here. Now, funny enough, this is as Lix and Yo are going forward, and now Lix signals and says they're back again, and here they come. Look, Yo and Lix are chasing once again. Really interesting how Vivi and Tim are, they're basically setting the pace of the game. Huh. Lix was building a TC up there. Wow, that's a journey, man. That's a journey to build that TC. I think that Tim and Vivi are going to lose their army eventually. It's just how much value can they get? Because if they can trade effectively, hopefully they'll be able to defend at home after the fact. Oh my god, Lix has so many knights. He surrounds the crossbows as well. Yo has his numbers. This is a fight that Yo and Lix will win. But Yo didn't have all of his numbers there initially, and Tim's micro was fairly good. And look, 1 Vil, 2, 3, 4, he's gonna kill the Vils. Well played. Well played. The KD could have been a lot worse there. But now what is their answer to Yo having 42 Britain crossbows? That's gonna be tough. They need a lot of knights. They need a lot of Persian knights. That's what they need. Currently, Tim adding a third archery range. He knows he needs to catch up in numbers. And he's on his way to the Imperial Age. What? He's on his way to the Imperial Age. Well, that's one way to do it. He's on his way to the Imperial Age already. So it's on Vivi now for the next minute or two, and they'll have to wait for Tim to hit Imp before they take big fights. So I've said it before, but I'll say it again. Franks in team games, very strong knights, very strong scouts. But I don't know who to make an argument for, because Persian knights have that bonus versus archers. So I guess it depends what you're fighting exactly. If you're fighting knight v knight, you prefer Franks. But Persians, then they have the camel option. Then you look at the Britain crossbows versus Ethiopian crossbows. Britons, they have the range, but they don't get thumb ring. And the Ethiopians get thumb ring with normal range, and they also have the faster firing speed. So I think the answer is, if wondering what is best, Britons or Ethiopians, Persians or Franks, the answer is it depends. As always. This is this is where Tim is vulnerable. Oh, I thought it was a Maganel. I got excited. Well, Tim needs his upgrade, so he can't afford to fight this. And, oh, wow, Mr. Yo's getting hit by Vivi, who's also about to click up. And Yo has not only killed villagers, but he's killing the crossbows. And that has been the strength of Yo, just the numbers. But to lose these numbers, to have 40 idols now, is really not the key to victory. And now they see Tim's an imp. And now what do Yo and Lix do? They will probably go to Vivi. So Vivi is gone up to Imp rather early here. You notice how he doesn't have near as many numbers. There's 11 numbers. It's hard to put 1,000 food and 800 gold into Imp and make a lot of knights. But I think they did enough. And he's still killing Yo's villagers, which is good. Tim is not helping Vivi. He's letting Vivi be. And he's going towards Lix, who is also on the way to Imp. I don't know what's best here. Like, if Lix comes here and doesn't do damage, Vivi could die. The safer option is to help Vivi, and okay, he's turning around now. Nice. Well, this is a strong first game. This is a sign of what is to come. We'll start off on Arabia. We'll move on to some different maps with all different civs. It's an amazing day for Age of Empires 2, guys. Vivi has 100 plus vills. He lost 3 vills on that wood line earlier, was behind an eco, and now is at 106 villagers. He is the most eco in the game. And I think Yo and Lix, they've lost their opportunity now. Vivi's in the Imperial Age. He'll get Cavalier. Tim is on the way. Now they have to wait for Yo's range. They have to wait for Yo's upgrades. The thing about Vivi is, in 1v1s, we talk a lot about his forward strats and how stubborn he is and all of that. And so, a lot of people, and understandably so, they will think that he does not have the capability to do other things. Like, he doesn't have the capability to boom, to fight well. You know, like, they think he's all towers, but that's not the case. Vivi is insane. And, you know, I, of course, jinx him and he loses some knights before getting upgrades, but he is the most eco in the game right now. His macroing skill is up there with anybody. And now here comes Tim and here comes Vivi. Kill anything now. Kill archer ranges, then Yo can't make as many archers. Kill TCs, kill houses, kill vills, of course. And meanwhile, on the other side, you know, this could be trouble for Tim. I don't know if Tim has enough on his own. Trying to push Lix, and Lix is about to finish the Cavalier upgrade. But what I do know is that if Lix can't be here, then Yo could be in trouble. Yo has 50 military. Tim has 60. And he has a third of that on this side. Using the free pikemen, which I like. If Lix has to win versus Tim here for them to win this game. He has to win this engagement now and then come help Yo. Otherwise, it's trouble for Yo. Vivi is now clicking Paladin. 42-minute Paladin time, man. Alright, and they're backing up, I guess, because they know Yo has 10 range versus the 8 range of Tim. And here comes Lix. So Lix has built the castle to stall out Tim. I don't think Tim has his own castle, so he's unable to make trebs, so they know that. Tim sends food to Vivi so we can make more paladins. And they're shifting, they're switching sides. It's like, where are they gonna go now? Well, guys, the trade is always an interesting talking point here. Both teams will start trade within the next few minutes. And now we Paladin on the way for Lix. This is nuts. So you'll see markets go up in the corners. You see the vills there. Around the 40-minute mark is when they'll do that. And you rely on trade for gold at this stage of the game. Vivi shows up to Lix's base. And you see that red, that big ball of red from Yo going towards Vivi. But Vivi's prepared. He dodges the shots. He has a castle. And he's okay. Lix is getting hit pretty hard here. Lix is getting hit pretty hard. And Paladin will complete earlier for Vivi. Nice job of Vivi to run. Where's Tim going? Tim is going to help first Yo. No way of knowing who's going to win this game. This is still anybody's game. Lix's population is lower than they'd like. But it's mainly the vills, which he could reboom with. Yo will probably send him food. Because Yo does not need food anymore. Watch, I'm on his point of view now. We'll hear the noise here in a second. And Yo's positioning isn't great, but if he sits beneath, look at that, the trees, that's as good as the positioning will be for him. Problem is, though, the Persian Paladins are shredding his arbs. He's not using his range, and Tim will be on the way soon. At least I think so. I think so. Oh! Tim denies a castle here! Yo was trying to castle this extra gold, he loses vills. And Yo's losing his arbs a lot more than I thought he would. Yo's down to 120 pop. He's just lost his vills and he lost his army. Persian Paladins, man. If those were Frank Paladins, I think the arbs would have done much better. Vivi's going to clean him up. So I underestimated that fight. Yo probably underestimated that fight. Yo and Lix were not together. And now Tim is going towards the trade. And this is as Lix is trying to wall off the area. So I think things have shifted heavily into Vivi's favor and Tim's favor. But oh, here comes Lix. So now Tim's arbs are in trouble. We will see Mayans in this set, and just think back to this moment, because this is why plumed archers are strong, because they can run away from paladins a bit. Regular arbalists, they can't really do that. So Tim lost a lot of his numbers there. Still should be a fight that Vivi and Tim will take. The trade will be starting. That will be an advantage for Vivi and Tim, because Tim is currently in the corner denying the trade. And we actually see a small tread push coming from Tim here as well. So SY has been the best clan in China for years. Vivi used to be on SY. And I guess within the last year went to Frantic. So now there's Frantic and SY, two of the best teams in the world, both from China. And in this World Cup, they're known as China A and China B. And China B is looking stronger in Game 1. Yeah, good point from Dave. The fact Ethiopians are probably better at holding Franks than Britons are at holding Persians. Good point. And I think Lix and Yo are in trouble. Huge population differences now, both in military and in eco. Vivi secures the gold for more paladins, and he's starting to tread back Yo. Great positioning with the Arbs, man. Stacking his whole army in between his castle and the wood line. But that doesn't matter. What matters is Yo and Lix haven't started the trade yet. They have not dealt with this. They cannot deal with this on the front. Lix does not have enough to help Mr. Yo keep him from dying and keep himself from dying. The trade's beginning now for Vivi. You can see that on the overlay. And you'll see that movement on your screen. But I think the end is near. I think that China B or Frantic, I think they're going to take Game 1. Oh, Lix is chasing this down. Yeah, that's too many paladins, man. Way too many paladins for Yo to deal with. I think Vivi, since he can't fully surround the Arbs, might consider just running into Yo's economy. He unfortunately lost his Treb, but he'll send more, and yeah, that's the end of the game. I guess the GG was called there. I saw it coming. It was tough for Yo and Lix to keep up with Vivi and Tim. In Castle Age is where it all started. I mean, late feudal, it was really good for Yo and Lix. Yo had a lot of archers. He killed some villagers of Vivi. But right when Castle Age started, Tim and Vivi's positioning just confused Yo and Lix. There was that one period in time where Yo and Lix had two armies at Vivi's base. Vivi could not deal with it. But Tim's presence in Yo's base freaked out Yo and Lix. They came back, they retreated. And then that was when Tim went into Lix, and it just like kind of unraveled from there for the SY team. Awesome game. Awesome game, and that is one of potentially 7 today. This is not going to be a sweep. There's not going to be a sweep. I think this could go to 7 games. I'm so pumped. 148 kills for Vivi. His macro was insane this game. More food, more stone, more gold. And, of course, he added the trade first as well. And we'll move on to game 2. So that means that the losing team gets to choose what map they will have. I'll update the score. China B now has the lead. The map is going to be Team Island. So it'll be Team Islands. Okay. I didn't expect that, man. We're going to see some transports. You know we're going to see some transports. Team Islands nowadays is all about the Dark Age transport. All right. Well, we will not see Persians for China B. We will not see Britons for China. Wait, no, Ethiopians for China B. And then Yo and Lix cannot choose Franks, and they cannot choose Britons. So I know many of you are confused about the teams. And I might have introduced that first game entirely wrong. I think China B is SY. Alright, well, let's do this. Let's make this easy. Now I'm going to go with the compromise the chat wanted. I was introducing the teams incorrectly. So I'm doing SY and Frantic because I just introduced the whole first game incorrectly. China B is Yo's team. I assumed that China A would be Yo's team. I was wrong. So let's just do it this way. Okay? SY and Frantic. Make it easy. That way I was technically right. And I guess I could do SY, and then we could do parentheses China B. Perfect. Sorry about the confusion there. I just assumed incorrectly. There's a 50-50 shot, man. You would think that Yo would be China A, right? Well, Mr. Anonymous, whoever you are, thank you for gifting 5 subs to the stream. Enjoy the emotes, guys. What's up, boring learning? Tiltstar, stop it, man. Stop it. Kralix donated $12. He said, it's been a while. Had to cancel subscription for a while because I ran out of resources. Luckily, I found some gold. Here, take some. Cheers for the quality content. By the way, T90 Love. Thank you, Kralix. Thank you for the $12 dono. Guys, all donos, subs, resubs, all that stuff will be shouted out in between games so I can focus here. So good to have so many awesome people here. Vazul, thank you for the 1,000 bits. Thank you very much, man. Foster Gregariousness, thank you for the 4 months. He said, T90, keep doing your thing. You're an asset to the community, and we all appreciate you and everything you do. Thank you, Foster. Hi, Sauced, King, thank you. And Vazul actually gave me 2,000 bits. Nice. All right, well, the next game's about to begin. We're not going to waste much time here. We'll get right into the action. Game 2 between SY and Frantic, which is not what I'm going to say. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 2. This is game number 2 between SY and Frantic, and I have to apologize to YouTube. I don't know how I'm uploading this yet. So if I uploaded game 1 as a single game, and I said that Yo and Lix were China A, scratch that. They're actually China B, so I changed the scoreboard so it's not confusing. Vivi and Tim, we're going to call them Frantic now. They took the first game, convincing fashion, and this time we have Team Islands. So Yo and Lix chose Team Islands. They think that that's going to give them an edge versus Tim and Vivi. In the yellow, we have Lix again. He's playing as the Malians. In the red, we have Italians for Yo. Italians and Malians strong civs for this. We have Malay for Tim in the green for Frantic. And then we have Vivi, aka the Fat Dragon, playing as Malians. Again, you cannot reuse civs during the best of 7, so that means Malians can no longer be reused for each team going into the future games. There was a game, thinking back now, there was a game somewhat recently with SY, which was amazing. It was amazing. And they landed. And they beat Secret at the time. So they beat Viper and they beat Slam. And they destroyed them. It was so cool. And we saw a transport. We saw a transport. In the old water meta, it was very rare to see any transports on this. But now you can build transports in Dark Age, so you can be a bit more sneaky with it. And I'm thinking Malians might transport knights or camels or something. Maybe Yo will go water control, and maybe Lix will switch it up with a bit of a fish boom on the back, maybe, to keep his fish safe, and then a transport forward. Who knows? The beautiful thing about that strategy, and I'm going to feel real bummed if we don't see it, because this isn't... I'm really pumped explaining this. If you end up getting vills in between both enemy players, you could damage both with whatever military you create. And then both of them would need to react in some way. And then your ally can just win water on his own because he'll be unrivaled then. So it's a pretty unique idea, one that I'm excited to see. Pablo says, chat, I'm going full screen. That's cool, man. I think everyone, you know, at home, whether they're watching on their TV, their phone, their iPad, their PC, whatever, they're pretty focused right now. You know, to have 2,000 plus people watching and have the chat this slow means that people are hyped and they're ready for the games. It's what I like to see. So if I'm right on my prediction, chat, and I could be wrong, if Lix is going to transport, the best thing to do is to dock on the back. Dock on the back because you won't have any navy to protect your fish. So your fish will be safe for longer. And he has docked on the back. Yo is docking on the back for SY. Perhaps indicating he will go aggressive, which would make sense as Italians. You see a forward dock for Tim. He'd probably be the one to go for water as well with Malay. And Vivi has side docked, but forward docked essentially. So The dock positions are important to think about. I used to hate team game water, but I like it now. I think 1v1 water should always be a Viking war. This is just preference. I know T90's biased, blah blah. I am. I'm not a big fan of 1v1s because fire galleys are very dominant, but team games are incredible now, man. I love team games. So much fun. And transport, baby! Yes! Yes! I'm so pumped. Here we go. Here we go. So the transport's coming. You can make it in the Dark Age. The fish is safe. So he'll send the scout in there, and he'll send the villain there, and he's gonna go out on a mission. Let's do this. Good point from Dave. Dave is co-casting from the chat. He said, watch the dock line of sight for Frantic. Yes. Yes. And, oh! Vivi's also making a transport. Now, Vivi's just making his transport a bit later. Now, there's no way they can stop this, but just scouting it is very important. I just saw Tim signal. He might have been signaling the boar, actually. But maybe he's saying, hey, we need to scout, okay? They might do the same thing. Okay, here comes Licks. And that is a lot of line of sight. And... just passing, bro. Just passing. Just passing. Oh, this is awkward. This is awkward. Wait, Vivi's like, wait, hold on a second. What is this? No, not here. Where you going? I'm gonna follow you, man. Tell me where you're going. I'm gonna follow you. So they both are well aware that the transport is happening. And Licks just doubles back. He's like, where do I go? What do I do? Where's he going? What? That's so funny. So, you know, Vivi's building a barracks anyway at home because, and I think we'll see the same from Licks, because they need the barracks before they build a stable. Tim's sending his scout. Vivi just signaled it. That if they stop this from being built, or whatever is going to be built, it's a pretty big deal, and I think they can. Meanwhile, Vivi's scout is here. Now, look at this. Yo's coming over to help. And let's see if Vivi can build his stable. Licks is badly housed. This is very, very tough to follow as a player. Yeah, Licks is changing direction. And Vivi will get his stable up unless he doesn't quick wall on his vills or something. So advantage Frantic, I guess. Because everything's going according to plan for them right now. Okay, Licks is going to get his stable up regardless, so pretty even. Oh! Oh, and Licks kills Tim's scout, so Tim doesn't know where those units are going to come from. So, there is water on this map, by the way, and Yo's fish had to run at one point. And now he's back to fish, and now Tim's fish is running, so keep in mind, Italians should beat Malay on water. They should edge them out just by a short margin or a small margin. But man, this couldn't be closer. You know, now Tim's going back to fish. The scout's now coming from Vivi. These scouts now coming from Licks. I think Yo has a slight advantage over Tim here because he's doing well with the fire galleys. But Tim has his own fire galleys on the way. This is fun. This is fun, man. I told you, like, I love the water meta now. It's so transport heavy in 2v2s. And here comes Vivi again. Remember how good he was with the scouts in the first game? Look at that. Runs past the Vil, gets a couple extra hits, kills one. And he will not stop the wall off, but he might tower there. 4 fishing ships for Tim, 4 for Yo. If Vivi has 3, Licks has 2, their fish will probably be safe. Unless, of course, Tim or Yo wins water. The scouts from Licks have not yet shown their hands. And yes, Vivi's still playing better, but Licks has walled his base up. So those walls are a pretty big deal. You have safe gold, safe wood, safe everything. Now, where's the transport? Yeah, Vivi should transport. I'd like to see Vivi use his transport to send the scouts over. Yeah, let's go! Let's go! He also created an archery range for skirms. Yeah! You can't wall it out when there's a transport here. Actually, where's he going? Oh, he's being sneaky with it. He's going way around. Yo is slightly winning on water. Oh, Yo's not going to be happy if he gets hit with this. They don't have any clue. Yo's going to get hit with this. Now, there's 2 weak scouts, but still. Yo doesn't have a barracks, and he's expecting Lix to be dealing with that. Now Lix is sending his scouts into Tim's base. I think Tim just got hit. It's amazing how similar this is. We have 4 scouts from both doing the same thing against the water player. So Tim could get hit here. Tim's going to lose at least 1 Vil. Make that 2. And Yo is going to lose 1 Vil. At least. Wow. Man, this is a great game. This is so messy. It's so great to see these top players play so aggressively and so differently. And down goes the Vil for Yo, but you know what? Tim lost more. He lost 2 here, and he lost, I think, 1 or 2 here. Because he's down to 26 Vils. And Yo didn't lose that many. And Yo is also winning on water at the moment. So Tim has no fish, Yo has fish. This is better now for SY. And now Yo can stop the transports again. Vivi's scouts and transport are running and sailing away. So, also you have to consider that Lix's stable has more freedom to do things. It's not trapped. He doesn't need a transport to use it. Tim is not walled off like Lix is. Vivi's walled off a bit. But yeah, I guess we have to, oh, nice demo shot there from Tim. We have to think about the castle age times now. And that's something you would give Yo and Italians an edge in, because they have a cheaper up cost. That was amazing. The transports ran right by each other. And Yo is playing extremely well now. He's killing Vivi's fish. That's huge for his team. That is huge. And I think Lix did more damage. Just compare the KDs. Lix has 11 kills, 7 deaths. Vivi has 6 kills, 11 deaths. So, I mean, it's not over yet. The transport is still alive for Vivi. So he will send some archers and some scouts around, I believe. He's created a lot of scouts. He can, what's going on here, guys? Come on, decide on who's going first. Okay, he sends the archers first. Now, if Tim's able to fight back on water, which is going to be an uphill battle, then it'll be fairly even, I think. But the problem is Yo has fish, and Lix has fish. Oh, and Yo sees the transport! Yo will kill the transport! And he can also alert his ally to this. Something that Lix is already aware of, too, because he has the outpost. Nice little compact base he has here. So Lix signals, he's like, hey, Yo, they're right here. And Yo will need skirms. But skirms die to scouts. Is this doable for Vivi? I think Vivi could micro some units down. Yo is all over water. But Vivi's the first to click Castle Age. So despite not getting as many kills, despite losing like twice as much as he created, or killed, sorry, he's forcing Yo into towers now, and Yo does not have a response to scouts and to archers. Yo, it will be delayed with his uptime, which could give Tim an edge to win back water. Tim is also melee, right? So Tim advances 80% faster to the next stage. I think Lix needs to get up fast. And he thinks the same, and he will click up. Right at the same time as Yo. Tim is still pretty far behind. So Tim is the furthest behind in this game now. Vivi needs to be a huge distraction, man. He needs to have some fat dragon moves. In defense, he needs to go for some crazy plays in offense as well. And then maybe Tim can come back into this. Remember, Lix also needs to defend and attack on separate islands. He also has an archery range, and he's building a second stable here. So we have a forward stable from Vivi, a defensive stable from Vivi. He'll go knights and camels. I'm sorry, I forgot to look at Yo's base. Yo has been distracted. Big time, actually. Oh, and Tim has just sent food to Vivi. So Tim realizes he's too far behind, and he's going to sling. Well, I think it's a good decision. Tim's already dead on water. He's already going to be later to castle. So I think the sling is the correct approach. So it's all Fat Dragon. It's all Vivi. Receiving sling. And so I guess Tim could try and fight back on water while he slings food or something. Maybe that's the play. Yeah, the fat dragon is getting extra fat. It's like a 20-piece McNuggets right here. He's upgraded. So Vivi will boom and attack Licks on his island, and he will defend he and Tim's island. I'll have to keep an eye. I'm going to stay on Vivi's point of view. I'm curious just how long Tim's plans on sending resources. Tim actually has decent water numbers, but Yo will of course get upgrades. I don't know, so Vivi's not going to kill with the sling. He's not going to kill right now, but he can take some big advantages. If he can clean up Licks on land, and then remain a force on the opponent's land, it could be really good. Yeah, look at this. Yo's focusing on water, and now Vivi's here with +2 knights. So if Vivi can just be enough of a distraction, get enough of an eco lead, eventually Tim can join the battle. This is a problem, though. That's a lot from Licks. He has the monastery, he has camels, so he can make monks and camels. And now he's on Yo. I mean, not Yo, he's not on Yo, he's on Tim. If Vivi needs to help, I can't imagine how difficult it is to fight in so many different places at once, man. I love how they went for the same strat. They both chose Malians for this. I think that Yo's team has a pretty big lead now, though. I mean, Yo's stabilized. He's building new TCs. He has a defensive monastery for conversions. Tim doesn't have any of that. And Tim has sent resources to Vivi, or at least he did a moment ago. But that hasn't changed much. Well, Vivi will kill some vills. Okay, here's some vills. He killed one here. We'll kill all of these, actually, unless they jump into the tower. But is that enough? No, not yet. Not yet. This could help. Vivi kills a monk. Vivi has the most vills in the game. He's on 1, 2, 3 town centers trying to boom. They'll trade conversions there, I think. They trade conversions with their monks, and they'll both lose their monks. Man, this is hard to follow for me as well, but Vivi's back! How does he keep getting around here? Vivi's back, and he killed more vills. You know what, guys? Licks has 44 villagers, and many of them are idle. His military control, if you could even call it control now, is being lost. Tim is on the way to Castle Age. Tim still, of course, can't fight back on water just yet, but I feel like Vivi has a significant lead versus Licks on land. And Vivi, seeing as he's going to be on 3 TCs, full production, he'll be at 60 vills before you know it, which puts him decently ahead of Licks and Yo. So how important is water when Vivi's remaining a threat here? He's already on the other side. He's actually on 4 TCs because he has a TC on the enemy land. I don't know. I don't know. Like, it helps to have fishing ships, of course. And that's huge for your economy, but I feel like Vivi could easily kill Licks on land. Now you have to remember, Vivi's creating knights and camels, and Yo is Italians. So if he creates a castle, which he's close to, he can go Genoese crossbow and kill these knights and camels, but for now, no response, and he'll lose another vill. Oh wait, or will he? No, he won't lose another vill. Here come the Rams, so I think this might be the end of Licks' attack unless he can be super stubborn. And he is. Wow, he picked off a monk with a scout. And he could get conversions here as well. Yo's trying to get conversions. Man, is this messy. It's so messy that I just said Yo instead of Vivi. Sorry about that. I don't know how to call this one. I do not know how to call this one. I do think that Yo is going to build that castle, and it'll be a struggle for Vivi then. But Vivi could be an imp by then, you know? You could go for something else. You could go for siege. What's Tim up to? He's going war galley. That's weird for me. That's weird for me. He doesn't have any fires as a buffer. And to try and go war galley right now is a bit peculiar. But definitely showing us he wants to go back on water. I think it's safe to say that Vivi will eventually kill Lix on land, and I'm wondering what Lix's follow-up to that is. I guess Lix now has to kill Vivi on his side. Yo is coming to help with that. In all games today, Vivi has shown that he can boom. More villagers yet again. 83 vills. The problem is Tim. Tim's only at 53. I think I missed a large demo shot or something because Yo's navy has disappeared. I saw Tim had a demo. Maybe now the war galleys can work out for him. Yo has his own war galleys on the way. Okay. And Yo signals Vivi's little base on this side. Now also Lix signals the north of Tim's base. That tells me he might be thinking of transporting. I wonder, maybe he's telling Yo to check for back docks or something, I'm not sure. Lix has been so stubborn with these scouts. He's picked up a bunch of monks with the scouts. He won't kill any Mangonels there. Here come camels. Lix loses the camels, and now Tim is here to kill the monks with his ships. Yeah, Lix is done. Lix is done here on lands, but Yo is not done on water. He's on his way to Imp. Oh, we got a castle from Vivi! We got a forward castle from Vivi on this side. Let's go. And he's going to up to Imp as well. Like, Lix could die to trebuchets. So not only does Yo need to fight on water, Yo needs to build this castle, and Yo needs to then treb this back. So Yo is kind of split. He doesn't know where to fight. He has to decide, does he fight on water or does he fight on land? Vivi's castle will go up. That's a great castle too. Look at that Mangonel. Alright. That was an excited Mangonel. He was really happy that that spearman went down. So Vivi asks... he asks his ally to delete some farms so he can place a castle here. He will go for trebs and he will go for water. But guys, Tim is actually... Tim at the moment has decent population on water. I think... I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think, because Yo could easily still win water and treb this back. But Vivi is fully dedicated to land, right? So he's thinking mainly champions, mainly full flood on land, while Yo is split. He doesn't know what to do. And Lix, he failed with his land attack. He's looking to get to Imp as well. But he's not on the way yet. As a team, I think Yo and Lix are stronger, despite the score difference. I think that Lix's score is really low, but his pop is just fine with vills. If he fights on land, then maybe he'll be okay. But I don't know. I mean, Vivi is certainly stronger as an individual right now. A great play from Tim and Vivi to come back into this. A nice demo shot. Not the best, but nice demo shot for Tim. And he should probably take this fight until Yo gets his upgrades, and Yo is going to back away and wait for his Galleon and Bracer upgrade. Now, they need to make champions. They need Lix to make champions or Gebettos or something. I think they expect to get rolled. Italians, they can't make archers versus these champions. These champions have insane pierce armor. So Vivi has chosen the right play, and he'll have 2 castles. 2 castles and soon 2 trebs. Tim is the weak link again, but he's very close to Imp. He's actually going to click up as we speak. And he's castling the water, so he can't lose his docks. He'll rebuild docks right there, no problem. So as it stands, Vivi and Tim are safe at their base. That is not the case for Yo and Lix. And Yo is trying to do everything for his team. Lix is just now building a barracks. I believe he will go champions as well. But it's already two-handed swordsman for Vivi. And Vivi will probably kill Yo's castle. And he'll kill the treb. Vivi and Tim are on their way to a second victory, but these games have been so good. Lix is behind with the champions. He's building 2 castles now. He could make Gebettos to save the day. Yo, he's ahead on water, but I don't know for how much longer that will last. There's no way that Yo can threaten Tim on land. There's no way that he can really threaten him on water because Tim's rebuilding docks. And it's all Vivi on land on the other side. Really strong stuff. Now, I have to say, Lix has done a great job to stonewall, to relocate Eco. He has a whole nother base now next to Mr. Yo, so that's great. And I believe Mr. Yo will make hand cannons to help. This game's not over. Mr. Yo is going to make hand cannons. That will be a great move against the champions. So the stone walls will stall for Yo and Lix, and the hand cannons will hold. 20 military for Tim. That is going to be fast fire ships. Okay. Well, I thought he'd go galleon. But he's going fast fire ships. And Yo's gonna land! Yo's gonna land! This is the area that Lix signaled earlier. They might have been having a conversation about this. Yo has a lot of resources, and he's Italian, so he can spam Condotieros. He could spam it right into the eco of Tim. Tim has no response to that right now. And that would actually force Vivi to send knights or champions defensively. So this changes everything. Still, the walls continue for Lix, but he needs to gate quickly. Tim is trying to stop that. Vivi's trying to run in. The condos will start soon for Yo, but he's actually losing water to the fast fires. Vivi just can't... the pain train is coming to town. Vivi just can't be stopped right now. As I say that, actually, I'm dead wrong. The gates actually keep him out. But Lix is sacrificing so much. He's down to 100 pop. Can Yo bring his team back into this? Tim is trying to castle. Tim is trying to castle. Will the castle be denied? 70%. I think it should go up, right? Yeah, probably will go up. But he's taking losses. And Yo is going to pick up his vills and send them elsewhere. Yeah, the castle goes up. Well, who's dying faster? That's the question. Lix with Elite Gebetto kills all the trebuchets that Vivi has. Yo is also here with the hand cannons. But Lix's population is at 80 and Vivi's 170. It's 130 for Tim. So Lix has died more than Tim has. And Tim can make Karambit Warriors in defense versus the Condotieros. Which honestly will work just fine. Just a matter of if they see Yo on this side. Which I think Tim is looking for. This is very high level play. Very high level play. This is so impressive. I'm so happy to be able to cast these games. I mean, two of my favorite teams in a best of 7. Yep, Tim will build another castle here. Vivi's even here to help. They know that Yo is going for a new place with his barracks. And unfortunately for Yo, I mean, he might build 2, but that's not going to last long either. And on water, we can't forget about water. Yo's still trying to hold on. And he is holding on, but Tim's sending so many fast fires in. Yo will get pushed back. Meanwhile, the castles, which are so important for Lix to keep up, are being trebbed. But he has more trebs, and he's trebbing back Vivi. I think Vivi needs something other than champions. His champions are not going to work for his hand cannons and Gebettos. What would you do? I guess Siege Onager maybe. You could go for your own Gebettos, of course, but look at that. Lix sniped the trebs. He's staying alive. Lix needs more pop. He needs mainly more economy. You know, as the game drags on, teams will need trade. Oh my god, Lix lost so many vills here. I didn't see that. But yeah, as the game goes on, teams are going to need trade, and at the moment, since Vivi is here, that gives his team a huge advantage, because they're denying the trade route. So, in theory, they could just continue like this for another hour, and eventually Lix wouldn't have the resources to make more Gebettos. I don't know. I think that Vivi needs bombard cannons. He needs something different, because just champions will cut it versus a lot of archering units, but not against the elite Gebettos. He could go... well, no, never mind. He can't go for Condotieros. He doesn't have an Italian ally. My bad. Yeah, he's making Gebettos now. Well, Tim now has harbors, so it'll be even that more difficult to push the docks as they're shooting arrows. And Yo's problem has been he has resources, but his teammate isn't in the game. So he needs to get Lix back in the game, and he's now slinging Lix resources. Yeah, I know harbors are exciting, but in reality, it's probably not the most, like, game-changing thing in this situation. Yo tries that third time and fails to land the Frantic players. I just don't think that's going to happen. Just don't think that's going to happen for Mr. Yo. Score is very close. This has been an insane game with transports and landings and Navy and God knows what else. And Lix is pushing back. If they get Vivi off this island, they can trade and they can win this game. They need to get the Fat Dragon off their land. Vivi says me no pig. Lix says me no land. And, or I know pig. He says, Lix says I know land. He needs his land, and the Leech of Betos is doing it. If they kill the castles from Vivi, I don't see Vivi holding. So this is going to turn into a traditional game. I mean, assuming they can push him back, this will turn into a traditional game of water v water. And I do believe that you have to trade now if you're Vivi and Tim. Take advantage of the time you have, lead. And they are. They're adding the markets as we speak. They probably expect Vivi's going to be pushed back, and Lix's population is higher than ever. He's at 150 now. With so many Gebettos, he has 60 plus military. Now, Yo's population is lower than it's been in a long time. Perhaps because he can't deal with the fast fires, but probably a combo of that and the fact that he's been sending resources to his ally. The only thing that Malians could do is go Siege Onager, and that's too difficult to afford. And even then, Gebettos can avoid that because they're fast. They can kill that because they have high damage output. And Condotieros could be added to kill. So, okay, another transport from Vivi. We'll see what he's planning. We'll try and transport the the champions to here, maybe. They could just drop off some barracks here and go right to Yo, because Yo doesn't have any castles here to protect himself. I think that's where he's going. I heard Lix make a trade cart. So they are making some trade a while. Smart to begin that. And here's the transport from Vivi. Yo's the weak link of the team now. If he wins water back, Vivi won't be able to transport it onto his land anymore. Wait, where did that transport go, guys? Oh, it's right there. It's hiding. This is going to be a sneak attack. Probably forgot about it. Now, you remember when Lix was on Vivi's island? Remember when Lix was on Tim's island? He was very stubborn. He stayed there for as long as possible. It's even more important that Vivi does that here, because it's denying trade. So he's built another castle. He will try and stay here as long as humanly possible. And there are the champions for Vivi. They will just probably die, but they do see the trade. They do see the trade. Not the best unit in the world to raid the trade with, though. That's a lot of Gebettos from Lix. 160 population. The further your markets are trading, the more gold you get. So a lot more gold coming in for Tim and Vivi with their trade. But they don't have a lot. And Yo has 60 plus military. Tim only has 40. And Vivi only has 30, while it's 60 plus for Lix. So Yo and Lix, they might have the lead in this game. They have the fires in front. That's a lot more fires from Tim, and some demos are in the mix. So tough to call. Yo decides to go back. Wow. Vivi is dying, though. He just built the castle, and he's going to lose it now. I don't know what he can really do. And here's the funny thing, guys. Lix has 60 military on his island. On his island. So, what on earth is he supposed to do with these units? He has to transport them. The only time he can transport them is if they have water control. Someone in the Twitch chat said, keep the camera on this battle. Well, there's multiple battles, man. I have to look around. There's so many different things. You have the trade now. Very little wood left for teams. It should be easier for Italians to trade, boom. Something to keep in mind. You look at this here. Where's the Silk Road? Trade units cost 50% less, so that's a fantastic tech to get. Something that Yo did get, I assume. Didn't actually see it myself. Or with my own eyes, rather. I would like to see Lix try and transport. these Gebettos into the trade, but he can't do so until his team has water control. And yeah, now Vivi is going on water. So Lix will do the same. He doesn't have population space currently. I'll keep an eye on the Gebettos. Not sure what the decision will be there, and teams are just taking their good old time now. If everyone is out of wood, will it be a draw? No. People will start buying wood with their trade. I've seen games. I once saw a game where teams got up to 100 trade carts because they had to continue to buy wood. So they didn't have a lot of pop space to do anything, but they had to buy wood, and the price was so expensive. That was a couple years ago. And alright, this is a better fight for Tim, a much better fight for Tim. The fires and the galleys. Does Tim not have chemistry? He doesn't have bracer. That's a huge upgrade to be missing. Now we have guard towers from Lix. The markets are right next to the shoreline, so they need to protect that. Yo has protected that with a castle here. Tim has protected that with a castle here and some harbors. Vivi has not protected this side. Perhaps because he doesn't have any more stone left after building his castles forward. Lix is even researching Keep and getting Bodkin Arrow now, but Yo loses his navy control down here. They have to be careful. Vivi's back up to 40+ military, guys. Oh my goodness, and I think Yo could push Tim. What's the price of wood currently? Okay, so wood is pretty cheap. It's 25 gold to purchase 100 wood. That's not a concern right now. It will be, trust me. Look at that. Seems like there's less wood on Vivi and Tim's island. Oh my goodness, there's significantly less wood left on their island. But they're killing trade. Kind of. That's a lot of towers. Very rare you see towers against ships, but it works. When you get Keep, you get heated shot, and it definitely works when Yo's playing so successfully on water. Tim's hurting now. 20 military, Yo is 45. I think if Tim loses water, it's going to be a real problem for Vivi and Tim. And what a comeback it would be. I thought Yo and Lix were going to lose this game. We're an hour into a Team Islands 2v2. And Yo's looping around. Immediately, Tim sees it. He's like, yo, what's that? We got to stop that nonsense. Oh, this is where... I wonder if Yo will come here. Has he realized? I think he's realized that the trade might be running there, and he's looping the whole way around to sit right in that spot. Watch. The intelligence of Mr. Yo to realize that amongst everything. If he ends up going there, it'd just be nuts. There's so many small things. The other small thing we saw earlier today was Vivi with the deer. Remember that? That was sweet. Oh, Yo, you need to patrol! I don't think he expected Vivi to have so many numbers. Vivi's going to have to save his team here, guys. Now, unfortunately, Malians don't get bracer. Look at Mr. Yo. Look at Mr. Yo. He's sitting right there. And Malians don't get bracer, so that doesn't bode well. But Tim comes from the other side. Tim comes from the other side and wipes up half of the navy Yo has near his base. So Yo plummets down to 38 military, while it's 30 for Tim and it's 60 for Vivi. Remember, a lot of the military for Lix is land military. He still has the Gebettos. They're not doing anything. But, oh my god! Oh my god! Vivi's fighting it off with Bills. Fat Dragon is hungry. And, you know, Tim is actually placing docks because the harbors will kill these galleons. And it will work. Vivi's just sacrificed his villagers' lives for the cause. It will work. They need to clean up the trade, man. They need to delete the lumber camps and the houses and stuff. I really think that Yo and Lix just need to wait this one out because of the wood they have. But, you really never know. You never know. I still am seeing transports from Vivi. And Vivi's transported. Vivi's on land. If you win water, you can land again. So Vivi's not done. The Gebettos are needed. Still no answer to the Gebettos, but it's something, right? It's something. Okay, guys. I want to see a next level strat. You ready for this? I want to see Vivi distract the Gebettos. Like, send them over here or something. I want Tim to land villagers and build docks in this pond. and then raid the trade with harbors. Then his docks would be killing trade. That would be amazing. I've never seen that before. That would be so awesome. And here comes Vivi with more transports, more villagers, more light cav. And Yo's kind of fighting on his own on water. Vivi has 70 plus numbers. So Yo will lose. Yo will lose here. And here, fire's coming from the other side. Real issue for Lix is that he hasn't had the Navy numbers, and that's because he has the Gebettos. But he needs the Gebettos. If this was 500 pop cap, then maybe Yo and Lix could do it, but you have to analyze just how much population you have remaining in these games. It's only 200 pop cap. Oh, and the Gebettos run the wrong direction into the Navy. Yo, man, the populations are still so good for Yo and Lix is adding water, so I'm not so sure. But, geez, what a game. I do know this is an amazing game. That's what I know. Here goes Vivi. Where is he going? Probably won't be able to do anything. Now it is 106 gold to buy 100 wood, so the price is really high. And, wow, Yo has 13k wood. I wonder if he purchased it. I bet you Yo purchased the wood. He probably did that because he knows they just need to wait the other team out. There's no other explanation. There's no way he could have 12k wood without buying it. Lix has 4k. Let's see Tim. Tim has 4k, but Vivi's really struggling, man. He had a lot less wood on his island, let's be honest. His villas can barely do anything. He doesn't have any trees. They're almost out. They have trees up here, that's it. And there's so much more down here. So what Vivi should have been doing with the landing is chopping the trees. This happens sometimes. This happens sometimes, and now Vivi and Tim, they need to go for it. They have less trade as a team, and they have less population as a team. Lix getting banking to perhaps sling some resources, but I think this amazing game is going to come to a close unless Vivi and Tim can get to the trade somehow, and I don't see it. Now we have cannon galleons. I love the elite cannon galleon choice from Mr. Yo. He, of course, has the resources. What a sick game. What a sick game. I've loved every second of this one. Yo's micro, though, to pull the cannon galleons back. Now Lix will send in the demos. Oh, my God. 5 heavy demos on clumped up galleons means Tim has to retreat. And these demos are fast, man. You can't even get away from them. They're gonna engage. Nothing you can do about that. Vivi cannot land anymore. Lix is making sure of that. In fact, they've stonewalled this off. There's still a little bit more wood left for Yo and Lix, but most of it's down here. Funny enough, Vivi kept Lix from the wood, and now Lix has all this wood left. So, kind of funny how that played out. That's a lot of Navy, a huge fight, and the heavy demos are coming in! The galleons stack up, so the demos can be strong here. And remember, Yo and Lix, they just need to hold. They don't need to win the water. Wow, that shot was huge! Well, they don't need to win water, they just need to hold water, and they have won water there with that fight. The castles will soon go down for Tim. Tim only has 400 wood. The price of wood is now 153 gold per 100. And I don't know how Vivi got here. How did Vivi get here? I don't know, but he's gonna die now again. Yo with 14k wood, Lix with 4k still. And 14 wood for Vivi. And there's the GG. Tim calls it. Vivi calls it. And that's the game. And that was a great game. Ties up the series 1-1. So far, I think we have seen that these teams are very evenly matched. The first game went to the Imperial Age. The second game went to the Imperial Age. Was even longer than the first. We saw the exact same strategy. A very hilarious start to this with the transports. And you know what's funny is Vivi was doing much better. It was just that Vivi beat Lix earlier. And then Yo beat Tim. And eventually, I think because they had Italians was a huge help, certainly. But eventually, Yo and Lix were able to push back. It was important they got Vivi off their land so they could trade, and they did so in their correct amount of time. Now, it happens on islands. I know there's always going to be one person who says, oh, it's not fair. It's not fair because they ran out of wood. It happens, man. I mean, there's really no way to... Like, there were some island tournaments where they would add twice the amount of wood on the trees, but all these players have encountered these situations before. They're aware of the situation. They're aware the trade's important. And if Vivi would have just not lost on land, if Tim wouldn't have been so inefficient on water earlier, they would have won the game regardless of that. It's actually quite rare we see wood run out, but it's part of the game. It's part of the game. I've seen it before. These guys have been playing, they played tens of thousands of games, and it's something they're aware of. There's the KD. 426 kills for Yo. He really propped up his team here. And I do think that Vivi carried his team. The KD doesn't tell the whole story. He was obviously trying and trying and trying desperately to stay on the enemy land and to hold that. Economically speaking, Yo had... I wanted to see the wood count. See, he didn't have more wood. I bet you he bought it. I bet you he bought wood because he had more gold collected with the Italian trade. Because with Silk Road, you can make so many trade cards. Trade units are half off. Excuse me, half off. So yes, Italians is not available anymore to Yo's team. So that is something that Vivi and Tim could take advantage of later on in the series, possibly. Okay, guys. So I'm going to update this score. We're going to continue the madness here. There's not a lot of time in between games, which is good. I do feel a bit bad because I've had so many people supporting the stream. So if I can't chat you out or something, I apologize. I'm going to get to it in between games. SweetieBot, Service Manser, Hasdira, and Yundiox. Thank you guys for the brands, new Prime subs. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the action. What's up, Hank? Thank you Henny, thank you for the 3 months. And FND Keratin Krieger says, I'm a little bit lazy lately to follow AoE 2. I'm glad that I turned it in the stream today. What a nice game. I know, man. The games are great. Thank you for 10 months. Avandius, what's up? Biello, hello. Biello, unfortunately, trade cogs are just too inefficient. They bump into each other, and it's much easier for the enemy to kill them, so it's very rare to see that. Arbitap, this tournament is organized by Nacho AoE, man. Nacho AoE. Alright, guys, let's do this. Vazul, thank you for the bits. Guys, it's non-stop action. What can I say? We can't complain about that. I do feel bad. I'll get to you guys and thank you all for your lovely support. Welcome. We have game number 3 between China A and China B. It is virtually non-stop games, non-stop casting. And again, China A is Frantic, or Vivi and Tim. And then we have China B, which is SY. The first 2 games have been amazing. Now we have Bedouins. And, oh, we have Chinese and Britons versus Indians and Chinese. I'm surprised because Indians and Chinese are the 2 best civs for this, in my opinion. Yo is in the red, and he's playing as the Indians. And then in the yellow, we have Lix. Lix is playing as the Chinese. So Bedouins is a nomad start, and it's a shorefish focus. Indians, their fishermen work 15% faster and carry plus 15 food, on top of the fact that any villager collecting shorefish is a very fast source of food income. Sorry, I can't speak. Trying to talk so much. But, so basically what that means is the Indians is one of the best civs on this. The fastest source of food income in the game is an Indian villager collecting shorefish. Kind of weird, huh? Chinese are always good on these maps because it's a nomad start and they start with 6 villagers. So that's the reasoning for them. You look at Vivi here. Vivi, he's playing as Chinese. I'm just surprised that Tim has chosen Britons. The only reason I could guess that they might not choose Indians here is because they want to save Indians for future games. Because it says the best of 7 and you can't repeat civs. So I would say that Vivi and Tim are at a disadvantage when it comes to their civs for sure, because of the lack of Indians. But I'll gladly be proven wrong on this. You know, you do have to consider Britons can eat sheep faster, so they have that, but it's not as fast as shorefish with Indians, that's for sure. So it's possible that people haven't seen this map before. You You know, normally when I have some more time between the games, I can explain it in more detail for you, but it's pretty self-explanatory. Controlling the pawns is important. Most of the wood is around the outer edge. And what players will do is they'll scout with sheep. And they'll scout with sheep to see where their enemies are located and where their resources are located. Because it's not like other maps where you have a set amount of resources. Do they get a secret bonus if playing as Chinese? Well, maybe there is a secret bonus that only they're aware of. Who knows? So Tim has 2 pawns secured. This is important. He has quite a bit of space up here. And the teams are close together. So Vivi's here, Tim is here. And you have Lix more central in the map, and Yo behind him. So I would expect that we would see scouts from Mr. Yo. Scouts into camels, and I'm just gonna make a wild guess and say that Lix will probably go for a fast castle. Typically you see a lot of walls from players playing Chinese and Bedouins. You also see a lot of walls from Chinese players, so the two go hand in hand. And then a big boom into Chukunu, Halbs, Trebs, all that, very strong with Chinese. Maybe Britain's was chosen to counter the Chinese Chukunus or something, I'm not sure. K-Con, as I said, it's hard for me to answer all the questions, sorry. I explained it earlier a few times, but the reason that this is a best of 7 is because China is unlike any other country in that they have 2 amazing teams that signed up for this. So they couldn't just have one China team like in the World Cup. You know, there's just China. There's no China A and China B. So this set kind of determines who is the best Chinese team. So is it cool with you guys if I get some water real quick? Like, I love casting games, but it was almost started too fast. I didn't have any time. I didn't have any time to stop. Like, I'm in the zone here, but like, I had 20 seconds, man. Jeez. Alright. Oh god, there was a shorefish in my water. Ugh, gross. We're good. Forgot it was Bedouins. Gotta be careful what water I drink. What's up, Viva Litzy 90? You guys all said no, so I'm gonna make you cringe with a dad joke. That's just the way it works. I say, can I drink some water after casting a whole game? It was an hour and 20 minutes. You guys are like, no, you can't drink water. What are you talking about? So of course I'm gonna make my whole chat cringe. What do you think? What do you think I'm here for? You don't think I'm here to troll right back at you? That's the main reason you ever tell a dad joke, is to make your Twitch chat cringe. Lix is on the way up before anybody. 20 villagers. He has built a barracks, and so I was a bit wrong on this. I think Lix will be the one going for scouts. Possibly Lix is going scouts because he's more forward. Ooh, and I believe he'll tower too. I believe he'll tower. He's going to stone. So it's either tower or he will try and fast castle and go immediately into Chukunu. If you can tower the ponds, that's important. If you can tower the wood lines, that's important. Stable. And you know what? This might just be going to stone ahead of time. What about Mr. Yo? What's he up to? 2 on gold. This makes me think fast castle for him. Tim still hasn't clicked up. So that is definitely a fast castle into archers for him. And Vivi will... I think Vivi will fast castle knights, actually. So on most other maps, if you click up a 23 population, you're not going to have the resources to hit Castle Age, but because on Bedouins you collect so much food, they'll have a lot more food, and they can go up earlier. Now, yeah, here we go. Here are the towers. Scouts and towers is an incredible strategy here, because you tower so they have to run, and then you have scouts to get the vills while they run. And Tim also can't counter tower. He has no clue this is happening. There will be 2 scouts here from Lix. Tim has walled up an awful lot. And maybe Vivi could help a little bit, but Vivi's trying to go to Castle Age. He can't be bothered to help here. Tim could lose all of his vills. I think he needs to run towards Vivi's TC. He, well, Lix didn't focus on the right ones. I'm surprised Tim didn't lose 2 already. Let's see. He loses 1. And that's it. So it wasn't the end of the world for Tim, I suppose. Still really stinks for him. He needed those villagers on Shorefish for food to click up to Castle Age. Yeah, does not have the food. Yo and Vivi are on the way up. Keep in mind, Yo is Indians. He'll be making camels. And Lix will continue with the towers. He's going heavy into feudal age with his scouts in the towers. Tim will, I guess, re-mill here. It's not a bad move. Does he have his other buildings? Archer range, blacksmith. Wait! What are you doing? Double upgrades? Is the second one free, Tim? Or did you forget that you already placed one? Oh no. Oh no. He's so stressed out that he's building 2 blacksmiths. You get one, you get the other one free. You guys didn't hear about the special deal? It's a special promo that's going on right now. Check it out. Alright. I would laugh if Vivi had 2, but no. That's very rare to see from pro players, but I've definitely done that before. So Lix is going to be the punching bag. He's already distracted Tim. He's going to distract Vivi now. And it's working. It's working. Vivi has to leave some shorefish. He, I guess he wants to... He might deny this tower, actually. He'll fight with Vils until his knight comes out, I suppose. But still, just the fact that Vivi is using some of his villagers to fight is really bad for him. And Lix is sending in the... Yeah, look, Lix will get the tower up and he's sending in the scouts. Nice aggressive play. Tim's castle time is way too late. That's a really slow castle time for Bedouins. And already the camels are on the way for Yo. I still don't get Britons. I know that Tim had the whole double blacksmith situation going on, but I don't get Britons too much. We'll see if Tim can prove us wrong with his archers when he gets there. Fazul, thank you for all the bits again, man. You haven't been sending messages with them. But, that's a lot of bits today, dude. I think it's about $50 in bit donations. I really appreciate that. So there's the tower. And, Lix should just continue. If they see this pond, they should tower that as well. Notice how there's no farms. No farms. Okay, there's farms for Lix, but none for Yo. That's what Vivi wants to do. He wants to be relying on shorefish. But he's 2v1'd at the moment. He's being towered everywhere. He's making knights against Indian camels. And what they need is a big ball of Briton archers to come help them. And this is probably the first game which has not been very close early on. Yo and Lix with the wiser civ choices. They've thought ahead. They used Britons already. They actually lost with Britons, if you remember. But that was a better situation to use Britons. And now, Lix is just steamrolling these towers, continuing. Soon he'll be in Castle Age. He could then go into Chukonu. I guess what Tim could do is he could hit Lix and catch Lix off guard. But Lix is building defensive towers. Really smart thinking. It's almost like they know what's coming every single time. Now, Yo doesn't know what's coming. He doesn't even have Loom. he doesn't even have Loom, so he doesn't know what's coming. He loses a few Vils. And a camel can probably deal with this. A camel or 2 will be enough there. Vivi's doing alright considering the circumstances. I mean, 37 Vils still, couple TCs going, making a monastery, making some knights. And the good thing for Tim and for Vivi is that both of the teammates on their team are in the Castle Age. And wow, Vivi just took a fight versus full spearmen and he won it. Great positioning on the spears. Oh, and Tim's coming in with the crossbows. Tim's coming in with the crossbows. Yo's gonna lose his Vils. The tower's not gonna go up. And this is swinging back into Vivi and Tim's favor. I judged the Briton choice, but now these archers have the 8 range. Okay, Tim needs to catch up in eco, but he's adding TCs. The Briton TCs are cheap, remember? So you can do that. You can come back with Britons. And Lix he's still in feudal. That's the problem. He's committed so much to this. He's done damage, but he's pretty far behind now. And I don't see him advancing any further with these towers at this rate. The knights will loop around, or the crossbows will snipe them. It's the double blacksmith, yes! It was the power of the double blacksmith. New meta. New meta. I wonder if he even knows. He probably doesn't know. Maybe he's streaming this to his Chinese community, and I don't know how to say double blacksmith in Chinese, but everyone was screaming it in the chat. That's what would happen to me. Vivi building a siege workshop. Does he have stone? Yeah, he does. Really needs to have access to stone as Chinese. These towers are so annoying, man. I actually get anxious when I see this many towers, because I know what it feels like. Here comes Tim yet again. He's seeing more towers. And I think Tim... Oh, he's using the second blacksmith to get the upgrade, guys. He knows. He's spreading the... He's creating jobs. That's what he's doing. He's creating jobs. Way to go, Tim, thinking about the economy. But yeah, he should go back and wait for more archers before attacking. They need to 2v1 Licks or 2v1 Yo soon. Yo has 58 vills and he has Indians. So cheap vills. Also, he's been collecting shorefish, which is faster than any other food source. And he has amazing camels, which Vivi cannot fight until Chukunu. Give that man a tax break. Exactly. How many upgrades do these camels have? Not many. I guess what Yo probably wants to do is go to the Imperial Age sooner rather than later. He'll be an imp around the same time that his ally hits the Castle Age. That's a crazy thing. Tim picks off that villager, and he could actually run by. That's why I wanted to know how many upgrades Yo has, because with the current upgrades, Yo can't clean that up. But yeah, now he's getting bloodlines. He realizes... If he really wants to play it safe, he'll get chain barding armor. But he has not researched that yet, I believe, because he wants the faster imp time. Yeah, or more eco upgrades. Has Lix done enough? That's the question. Has Lix done enough? Lix is on the way to Castle Age. Tim has rebounded from the double blacksmith. He has rebounded from the slow start. The score dips simply because Lix is on the way to Castle Age now, but when Lix gets to Castle Age, he'll have a lot less vills than Tim. Tim has 3 TCs at the moment. Lix's TC is idle as it researches Castle Age. This is not a fight that Vivi can take, and so he leaves immediately. Good stuff. When will Yo click to imp and what will he do? That's what I'm wondering. Oh, what? Wow. Okay, there we go. And he clicks to imp, and he'll go more camels. Can't say anyone's surprised by that. If Vivi has a castle with Chukunu, and he has pikes, like, you could hold, but Imperial camels are so strong. It's like getting Paladin, essentially. Actually stronger than Paladin in many ways. And they move in underneath the towers, but Tim, he's lost a lot of HP, and he needs to back out. Mr. Yo and Lix just sitting back, taking a sip out of their water like I'm gonna do right now. They're not doing much except defending. And they have to expect this. Tim and Vivi have to expect this now. Yo has not been fighting. Yo's score is low. They should expect Yo would have the lead as Indians. So that would indicate that he's on the way to imp, if those things are going on. Yo's not pushing at all, he's just sitting back, so he has to be waiting for upgrades, right? Now this is the time to fight! This is the time to fight! Kill as many units as possible. Tim, he only has 1 university, so his ballistics upgrade was slower than normal. Okay, I like this. I like this. Killing a few villagers. Still going through the palisade gate. Yo does not want to fight this. He could fight this. He doesn't want to. Okay, this is something Tim and Vivi will like. They're killing vills. They're killing some camels. The positioning of the crossbows will be good. Right in the pond. Get in the pond, Tim. Get in the water. Yes. Nice. Sit right in the choke. And now this is the moment where Yo was planning on pushing out. This was the moment where Yo was planning on attacking, but he now has to defend. So the timing on this from Tim and Vivi was perfect. And the micro from Tim, nice. Let's kill the scorpion. Yo's still waiting for his upgrades. These are technically still Castle Age camels. And Tim's on the way up. Tim's on the way up. So he's on his way to Imp. Vivi is splitting up from Tim. So Tim will be addressed by Yo, but Vivi can't be addressed, and Vivi's killing villagers. Vivi takes the Vil lead. Now, he needs the Imperial Age, and he needs a lot of Chukanu, I feel. And down go Tim's crossbows. And this is probably where the score spikes back up for Mr. Yo. This score will dip for Vivi and Tim. What's Lix up to? Oh, Lix! Lix is going to build a castle! He's going forward, he's way behind. So he needs to build a castle, and he's going to do it. Vivi doesn't have his castle yet. He sees that being placed. Now, I don't know if that castle is going to go up. If Tim sees it, Tim could come over with his crossbows. Tim, get here, man. Get here. Tim. Yeah, here comes Tim. Oh, man. This is a fat dragon castle against a fat dragon. Yo is incoming. Yo is incoming to help. The castle is 52% of the way up. I don't see this castle going up. Maybe it will be finished when Yo arrives. But now Vivi's building his own castle. So Vivi's building his own castle. The micro and the teamwork from Tim and Vivi was great. They killed the monks. They killed the Mangonels. Now, of course, Yo arrives and the crossbows will die. But Vivi should get his own castle up. He needs to wall, though. He needs to wall. He needs to stone wall that on the side. Vivi. Boy. His castle goes up, but now camels are in his eco. Well, this is anybody's game. This is all Yo for his team. All Mr. Yo. And Tim and Vivi are around, like, equal strength at the moment, but they're not near as strong as Yo. So, is 2 better than 1 is the question. At the moment, 1 is better than 2. Imperial Camel is about to complete, and again, Indians are ridiculous on this map. Now, Vivi will take some extreme losses. He's already lost half a dozen Vils. He'll continue to lose more. Arbalest is in for Tim, but that will barely scratch this many Imperial Camels, and more Imperial Camels can run in. Yo is just all over Vivi. The Arbalest will die to these units. Yo is at 150 population. Only 50 for Lix, and yet they're winning the game. And Vivi's working on Chukanu, but he doesn't have a lot of upgrades. He's just now getting Bodkinero, which is the Castle Age upgrade, and he is just out of options here. Needs Tim. Tim is making more arbs. Of course, he has the range, so he can get more hits from distance as Britons. Just that they fire pretty slow, which is the issue. And Yo has really damaged the economy of Vivi. I believe Yo will probably sling some resources to Lix to get him in the game or something, because he's researching coinage at the moment. Oh, Tim's building a TC out here. That's been denied as well. So he can't even expand. And Lix did get a castle up on this side. Now the wave of camels stopped from Mr. Yo. What next? What next? He sends wood to Lix. He needs Lix and Imp, I suppose. That's a lot of Arbalest from Tim. Vivi. I wonder if Vivi should just go Halb instead of Chukanu. I don't know. Chukanu are much better versus Imperial Camels than Arbalest are, so... I guess you do want the melee, so he researches Pikeman now. 130 pop for Tim. 100 pop for Vivi. It's just 169 population for Mr. Yo. It's insane. It is truly insane. And he runs right into Vivi's base. Vivi has no response to this yet again. Really should have walled that up, I think. He's even losing his TC out here, man. He lost 2 TCs out here. Yo's all over him. And anytime they do try and wall, Yo will probably run right in. Can Tim save his team now? 35 military. But these Imp Camels, they can't be stopped. They can't be touched, can't be stopped. Goodness. And Lix is on the way to Imp. I think that Yo and Lix can do this. Because when Lix gets into the picture, and he has basically anything, they'll probably finish off Tim and Vivi. I don't see anyone stopping Mr. Yo. Mr. Yo, having an amazing game. 60 military. It's been only him. Had an amazing start, amazing castle, amazing game in general. And he'll just avoid the Arbalest. It's hard to compete with Indians on this map. It's very hard to compete with Indians. And I think that Tim could have done more in early castle, but it was always going to be tough. And where isn't Yo right now? He's about to pressure here. He's focused on the right side. Then he went to this base, killing more villagers. He's also fighting here. He's killing the barracks with his Imperial camels. He's almost at 200 pop. He's almost at 200 pop, and Vivi can't get past 100. And Tim can't catch up to the camels. And this is all before Lix joins in the Imperial Age with Chukunu. I think that Yo and Lix will take this. They have more map control, which means that they have more gold access. They actually have more relics as a team. Yo has 3 relics. It's 1 for Lix. And there's never really been a point. There was one moment where Tim and Vivi had momentum, but they haven't had a lot. And it's all been Mr. Yo this game. So again, why no Indians for Tim and Vivi? I don't get it. I'm not saying that this is a Civ win by any stretch of the imagination. This is great play from Yo, but obviously Indians are insane with the shorefish. So, why no Indians? Indians has to have been saved for another map, and maybe the next game. Maybe Vivi and Tim have saved Indians for another map that we've yet to see. Now that the Chukanus are here, the Halberdiers for Vivi, nothing. And there's the GG. They know it's over, and they call it. So first game of the day, first game of the series went to Tim and Vivi. And now, after Game 2's victory, which was great for Yo and Lix, they get Game 3 victory. Here, I think it was more convincing, right? It didn't go on near as long, and Yo never looked troubled. Mr. Yo did play a little bit weird in Game 1, so it seems like he's warmed up for his team now. The captain of SY really pulling it together. So we'll go into Game 4 next. Really exciting game so far today. 190 kills and 76 units lost. Lix was slinging Yo a bit of resources, so there was that as well, but on any map with shorefish, if you don't have Indians, it baffles me. So I'm curious to see if Indians will be picked and if Vivi and Tim will win with Indians later on. Okay, so I'll update the score, and Frantic is now behind. This is the best of 7 in the 2v2 Age of Empires World Cup event called Brothers in Arms, created by, or hosted by Nacho AoE, also known as Riverplation. It's been a lot of fun to cast so far. T90, great to finally make it to the stream. I discovered you a few weeks ago while browsing on YouTube. I used to play AoE 2 back in the early 2000s, and I am now playing again because of your amazing content. You're a great caster and keep up the great work. Thank you, man. Thank you. I think you might have said that before the last game. I didn't have a break before. In fact, I've just asked them for a small break before the next game starts. But I did see it, man. It's great to hear things like that. Thank you. Vezul has been going crazy with bits today. Wait, Mazmora, did I get it wrong? Did I get it wrong? Was it Yo slinging? Let me, actually can't look. Maybe I got that wrong, Nelson. Maybe Yo was slinging Lix back into the game. Because he did get coinage, right? Yeah. Yo got coinage. He was slinging Lix back into the game. That would make more sense. But Vazul says, was fun catching your stream for the first time. You may have all my bits. So that's a lot of bits today, man. I highly appreciate that. Thank you. If you have to head off, there will be more games. Obviously, you can watch the past broadcasts or wait for YouTube. My bad. Good to see you in the chat, Nelson. Yeah, Yo was slinging Lix back into the game. In hindsight, that makes a bit more sense, right? How many people are here for the first time today? Anybody out there? I asked this earlier, and a lot of people, I saw a lot of new faces in the chat. Hope you guys are enjoying the experience. This Age of Empires 2 community is blowing up. My channel is blowing up, and I'm loving every second of it. I was saying earlier how I Like, I'm so exhausted after these streams. It's so exhausted, but it's so worth it, man. It's so much fun to see people back watching Age of Empires 2. These players deserve to have this many eyes on them. They're so good. And yeah, again, all the kind words you guys send my way, I really do appreciate it. It's a bit overwhelming. So Peanut Butter Hoo-Ha, I upload the best games to YouTube. So I'm not sure if I'll do the full set. If you are new to Twitch, I guess I can show you quickly while we wait for the next game to begin. You can always watch the past broadcasts. So this is a screenshot of my monitor right now. You can see my stream, right? So if you click this, you can actually go back to my current past broadcast. Click this link or this image, and you can just scroll through the whole stream that I'm currently doing. And that's the same with community games or whatever, right? And you can go back, I believe, a few months for the whole past broadcasts. You can see highlights and clips, all of that. So that option's always there if you guys want more content. But I do put the best stuff on YouTube, of course. Love your streams. You are one of my 2 favorite streamers on Twitch. Awesome, Cyphers. Thanks. Made it into your top 2. Nice. What is Dave? What is Dave? I don't know. That's a hard one to explain. Dave is a complicated character. I don't know what he is exactly. Some say he's human. Some say he's some say he's picking up his wife at the mall. I'm sad that meme died, but I just brought it back, so there we go. Started watching you a while ago, and I found out you're from PA. I'm York area. Where are you in PA? I am in the Harrisburg area, Slam Paul. So when it gets a bit warmer, I will do a PA meetup, because there's quite a few people who live in PA who are close, and I've done meetups in Europe, I've done meetups in other areas of the States, but I would love to do a meetup to people who actually live close by. You're not coming to my apartment, though, no offense. Can't have that. I can't be streaming a game and have some crazy fanboy, like, stick his face in my window, be like, yo, T90! Yo, what's up? Or, hi, Twitch! T90 official. T90 official just discovered your content. Went to my local store and was about to pick up delicious, fresh salmon to cook for dinner. It spoke to me, and those words were wise words. It whispered in my ear, T90 official, so I jumped on my bicycle and went home to research what T90 official is. I've been here for the last 24 years watching your content. True story. Guys, true story. Thank you. Can I come stay at your apartment? Well, not if you use the creepy emote. That's creepy, man. I can't even look at that myself, and that's me. T90 official, do you know any Amish people? Yeah, I mean, all my internet friends are Amish. That's how you meet Amish people, right? On the internet? Alright, so next game should be starting shortly, guys. It will be on Ghost Lake. Ghost Lake. So this was actually the choice by Vivi and Tim. Magic A, excuse me, donated 100 bits. He said it was good watching a stream today. T90, can't wait to see the 48-hour stream you promised us. No! I want to set the record straight, guys. Because yesterday I misspoke. Everybody clipped it and started spreading it around the community. It's a 24-hour stream. It is on the 22nd of December. What I can do is I can stream for 24 hours, shut the stream off, and then do a rebroadcast of the 24-hour stream. So it could be a 24-hour stream twice if you want to make it 48. We could do that. But as my Christmas gift to you, I would do 24. 48 is too extreme. Wait, did it not say arena? Oh, it's arena. I can't read. Oh, God, Matt. Dude. Oh, man. Feels so awkward when this happens, man. Matt, thank you, bro. Thank you, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, he said, so excited for the 48-hour stream. No, it's 24, man. It's 24. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. No baby shark. No Lion King noises either because I have the silent alerts on, I guess. But thank you. Alright, let's do this, okay? Time to cast a game. We'll just have to edit this part out. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 4. Oh! Shit! Oh my god! Why does that have audio? Oh, why does the 100 have audio? Why are my alerts broken? I'm sorry if I scared you guys. Oh my god, I just jumped. Oh my god, I'm dead. You said, I'm kidding, by the way. 48-hour streams are not healthy. You do you. Well, thank you, Matt, for looking out for my health. My eardrums are broken now, so I will invest the donations into new ears, new eardrums, or hearing aids or something. Oh, I'm sorry about the lackluster start to this, guys. That's a lot of money, and I don't deserve that, Matt. Thank you. Okay, let's cast the game. Let's cast the game, guys. Welcome to game number 4 between SY and Frantic. This is part of the 2v2 World Cup tournament, and the game's been really good so far today. We have a 2v2 arena now, and we have Yo in the red. He is playing as the Spanish. And we have Licks in yellow playing as the Koreans. So in this tournament, you cannot, or in this set, you cannot repeat civs. So we have completely different civs here. And perhaps because Yo and Licks want to save Mayans for another time, or Slavs for another time, whatever. But I'm really excited for this, to see a non-mirror matchup yet again. Tim is in the green for Frantic. He's playing as the Slavs, as I said. And then we have Vivi playing as the Mayans in the blue. The pick that really interests me, and again, this will be clipped, and people will say this, will share this forever. It interests me to see Koreans in this game, not because I like the Civ, not too fond of the Civ. Love the people, love the food, don't like the Civ, but I'm curious to see what Licks will plan on doing with this Civ. It's a great post-imperial Civ. The struggle with this Civ, for me, it's always been a tower civ. It's always been a tower civ. And Licks is getting loom. And okay, I think we figured it out. I think Licks is going to tower, and they have seen Vivi's gold. Wait, is he dropping off food? He's gonna up and tower. You nasty dog, Licks. Well, yesterday, Finland and France played, and France surrendered after getting tower rushed on arena. They resigned, and there was supposed to be a 4th game, and they were so frustrated. I say surrendered because, you know, French jokes, but they quit. They stopped. They weren't happy about it. And well, Chinese, they're used to getting towered. They're used to all this. This is just their style. And here comes Licks, and he's not going to tower Tim. He's going to tower Vivi. And Vivi has a horrible map. He does have this gold back here, but this gold's forward and this gold's forward. So really does not have a good map to fight this. Where are his stones at? Oh god, this is an awful map for this because he wants to go fast castle plumed archers. His stones could be denied as well. Now what's interesting is Licks does not see the stone. So there's a chance that Licks will not know the stone is there. If he denies that, that's a big deal. And if he doesn't deny it, it's quite a big deal. Now, I've casted quite a few 1v1 arenas, and the tower rush thing happens a lot between arena players. So we've seen tower hops from John Slow and Dark Noob time and time again. I rarely see Vivi play arena, and Vivi, he knows about the tower hop. He needs to place a house here to stop Licks from getting through. That's funny how he's had to react to this. He's still in Dark Age, so he cannot build counter towers. He just has to wall. And, okay, so, again, Licks does not know that the stone is there, but if he continues down this way, he might get really lucky Oh, he sees he's a stone miner. And wow, he sees it. Korean villas have amazing line of sight, so he sees it. And now, what does Vivi do? Vivi will have to try and get to that stone, but that's outside of his walls. So Tim can only assume is going fast castle. I don't know, actually. What in the world is going on here? I don't know. Tim is not on gold, so... Oh, wait, what is this? Oh, guys, Tim, this is great. Tim thought he was being towered. He upped a feudal early. He thought he was being towered. He went to stone defensively, not offensively. He thought he was going to be the one towered, and now Vivi's the one towered, and so they're both kind of screwed. And meanwhile, Yo is probably just fast castling into conquistadors. Wow. Wow. So I think the only way that you combat this is someone slings. I think that maybe Tim starts sending resources, because he just built a market. Maybe he starts sending resources to Vivi, because Vivi will need the stone, and Vivi will need resources to up. So maybe it was part of the plan, you know, maybe it was part of the plan to sling. Regardless, that's where we are now. Tim will send his resources to Vivi, and it will be a Yo and Vivi matchup. The Fat Dragon versus Yo in Castle Age. Lix, he could always sling behind this, but he doesn't really have an economy. He just built a bunch of towers. So, more than likely, as he blames this, I know stone, I know pig. Yeah, I don't know. And whoa! Whoa, we got more towers from Lix. He's gonna tower both of them. Well, aren't Koreans such a great civilization, man? Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Well, I like the way that Tim and Vivi adapted to this. They've done a fantastic job to realize the situation, I guess. After the possible mistake or whatever, they're now slinging, and Slavs are not a bad civ to sling with. Might not even be a full sling. It might just be to give Vivi a boost with stone. Because at the moment, Tim is banking up his food and gold for himself. Nice job. Yeah, so Nelson, I want to give you the specific info on the whole, like, France thing. So, it was a long game. It was a long game, went to post-imp after Eddie got tower rushed, right? And then after the game, they didn't want to play, so they lost the game. The score was 2-1, and they were upset because it was the normal arena version, not the modified one with 1800 stone walls, so they didn't play the 4th game. So, which I mean, I'm not very happy about that, because they played the whole game. It was a close game. They should have tried, I think. So, aggressive castle from Vivi. And now Vivi will build his own, or sorry, aggressive castle from Yo. Vivi will build his own castle, and, oh, we'll place it there. Alright. Something that Yo should see. Yeah, they're aware of this. And I think the castle should be up in time. I actually quite like the castle placement for Vivi. Because if you think about this, one, it blocks conquistadors from getting in for the most part. It could still run this way. Two, Vivi will most likely be getting fletching. Oh, we got a tower war going on over here. But yeah, Vivi will most likely be getting fletching and Bodcanero, which you won't see Yo do. So this castle could actually range Yo's castle and do damage to it over time. It's a small thing, but it's something. Lix is just having fun, living the Korean life, just towering up. And I believe that Tim would like to up to the next stage. His market was denied. Oh no, he had another one. That was just a wall. So yeah, he's on his way up. But the big problems for Tim now, because here come the conquistadors, and Vivi's probably saying, hey, conks are going to you, my friend. Conks are going to you. Wall. And Tim is not fully walled yet. There's a gap here. If I'm Lix, I just sacrifice my vills. Send a vill in there to block it off. Oh no, that's only... Okay, so Tim loses a lot, but there's a hole here, right? Oh no. No, 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 no. That could be the game. Yeah, I have to take my hats off to Yo and Lix, because you're not going to use Koreans on any other map. And it really worked well. Yo is just kind of dead. I mean, geez, I can't get the names right. Tim is kind of dead now. What does he do? He can't defend from this. He needs Vivi. Vivi runs into Tower Fire on his way in. But that damage was extremely tough on Tim. And Lix will continue with towers. Tim now has 26 vills. And no, oh my god, Yo sees a hole in the wall. He's like, what's back here? What's back here, Timmy boy? Oh, you got some villagers. Well, that's cool. Too bad he didn't drop off the stone because they're dead. Wow. I'm a bit speechless now. This has worked to perfection. The game plan was great. I can't even be upset. Tim is down to 23 vills. Now he's getting coinage. He's like, yeah, now I'm going to sling. So now he'll sling Vivi, which makes sense. And I wonder if Lix will up to Castle Age himself, or if he will sling. I think the better play is probably to up to Castle Age himself. This is winnable. This is winnable, but it's all Vivi now. Vivi has to do it on his own. Vivi has killed the Conquistadors there. He has more to possibly deal with here. Yo has a battering ram. I guess he wants to continue to pressure. And see, Tim doesn't have a lot to sling, but you notice the score switch there? Vivi has more vills than Yo does. And he's receiving sling, and he's Mayans. So if he were to up to the Imperial Age, he could treb this down. Plumed Archers would be better than Conquistadors because they get affected by Bracer and Chemistry. This is totally doable. Now, Lix is not going to contribute anything beyond the fact that his towers get free upgrades. Maybe some siege or something, but very little beyond that. He'll probably castle at home, maybe make war wagons, and boom. But it's all on Vivian. We'll see what he can do now. If he could petard bust into Yo's base, it'd be really nice. Oh! He's doing it! He's doing it. The problem is Yo can see this. This is not the sneakiest petard ever. It's kind of petarded. But maybe Yo won't react to it. Yeah, I think Yo sees it. That poor guy. He's just trying to commit suicide for the cause, and he's gonna get denied. It's already a sad life, and now it's even worse. Yeah, Vivi probably was never gonna sneak that in because of Lix's outposts anyway. And the Plumed Archers are going to kill Conks! Going to kill Conks! And Vivi's on the way to Imp. So, a big problem is Mr. Yo has not been on 3 TCs behind this. He's been trying to kill a guy who's kind of already dead. Like, Tim is obviously sending resources, and when he loses fills, then he can't send as much, but Yo is putting a lot of focus on a guy who's already slinging. And so is Lix. And I think Vivi could carry this one. 1 castle, Plumed Archers. It's doable. It's doable. He really needs to start sending his units to the north, because this is triggering me. He's losing units to that castle. But Vivi, 60% on the way to Imp. I like the fact that Tim has run behind his walls. Thank God he didn't delete them earlier. That would have been awful. Vivi's on his way to Imperial, and he has more vills than Yo. Whoa! Whoa! What happened? What happened? Did something kill that, or did he delete it? Yo! Or Tim. I meant Yo as in like, yo, Tim. What is happening? Did he delete his TC? No, man. That's the worst time to delete your TC, when enemy conquistadors and towers are right there. Did Snippy show up? I don't see any petards. Well, I like how these vills have just accepted their fate. They're just gonna try and survive. They won't. They'll die to the tower, so ouch, man. Well, that makes it more difficult for them. Tim is definitely out of the game now. I don't know. Oh, okay. Hold on. Tim sending gold to... Okay, I toggled over to Yo and I got confused. Is Lix sending res? Hold on a second, guys. I need to check this. I don't have the alerts on because they can get spammy. Okay, Lix is sending res to Yo. That makes sense. So Lix is sending res to Mr. Yo. Because otherwise I don't see how he would have been able to be up to Imperial Age. They need Yo on Paladin. So I think that Lix probably should have gone into a sling earlier. Obviously, he has 41 villagers, 42 now, and he's sending all those resources. So it's Mr. Yo versus Vivi. And Vivi has some time now to treb this castle down, but he has to expect Paladin. He has to know what's coming. It was probably a misclick. I mean, what other reason can you think of to delete that? Because you don't delete that so you can rebuild another one. He's in Castle Age. So, I believe he deleted that, but I don't know what else he would have... I don't know how you misclick that. Maybe he has a delete hotkey that he accidentally hit when he was selecting his TC. Maybe he was trying to delete a farm and click the TC instead, but I don't see why you delete that. So, yeah, I'm not sure exactly. All I know is that the guy's really not had the best game ever. I feel bad for him. His cat walked over his keyboard. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That must be it. I've actually had that happen before. My cat walked in front of me, and I tried to, like, shoo my cat to the left, and it wasn't the delete key. What was it? It was some... Oh, I think it was one of those weird hotkeys I never used that changes the menus, and I couldn't figure out how to undo it during the game. I think that's what it was. But here comes Vivi. Here comes Vivi. Vivi saw the stable on the way up. And he's going right for the gate. Yo is getting Cavalier. What upgrades does he have? Probably not a lot, right? He needs to delay this. Vivi could kill him. He needs more time to mass the Paladins. Elite Plumed Archer for Vivi. He's on his stone, so he could eventually get to a second and third castle. This is totally winnable for the Fat Dragon. What he needs to do is get in, sit next to the stables, kill the stables. Just keep killing the stables. Plate barding is on the way for Yo, though. That could be an issue. That's a lot of plumes, though. And there's not a lot of units. Only 4 military. So Vivi now will pack up the trebs, and he will go after the stables. Oh, don't lose your trebs. No, 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 no. Don't lose your trebs to 2 Cavalier. Yeah, I like how Yo snuck out there. That was actually pretty smart. Don't lose your trebs, man. Don't, no, Vivi. No, Vivi, 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 no. Oh, God, man. You can't lose a treb to 2 Cavalier. You let them pass. He's in Yo's base, killing Yo's villagers, but he's not denying the Cavalier production, and Yo's receiving slings. So this is becoming a big, big problem for Vivi. It looks good for him because he sees he's killing a lot of Vills, but Yo will have the resources coming in from Lix to make more Cavalier. And when you're in Vivi's position, you can't stall out. The push has to continue. You can't lose numbers either. And I think he will lose numbers. So that was a nice play for Mr. Yo, honestly. Send 2 Cavalier out and kill a Trebuchet. Did he kill both? No, he weakened the other one. And he's rewalled in the meantime. And now it's 15 Cavalier. Full upgrade soon. And the Plumed Archers are going to die. Meanwhile, we should probably look at Tim. Unfortunately for him, his farmers are going to farms that are in range of these towers. So it's not getting any better for him. The Korean power is still hurting him. And I now see Vivi looking to place a second castle. And looking for pikemen. So pikemen and plumes. But it's just 20 military versus 15. And these numbers, Yo should win. And Yo is going to take the fight. And Yo sees the Vil, so he'll deny the castle or delay it. And this could be the game, honestly. How many upgrades do the pikemen have? Decent. But Yo just continue. He just needs to stall this out. He'll kill a Treb. Paladin's on the way now. Just needs to stall this. Which stable has Paladin? That's the stable right there. Could maybe kill it. Oh no, Tim. Wall, Tim. Wall. Yo's going to Tim. Quick, Tim. Run away. Practice force nothing, man. Cut into the corner and wall it off, man. You'll never be safe. Oh God. Oh God. This is bad. I mean, the guy is barely sending resources to Vivi as it is. Quick, run into your walls. Run. Run. No, you don't have time for this, Tim. You don't have time for a gate. Maybe he does, I don't know. I feel bad for him. I feel bad for anyone who gets towered by Koreans, so... Oh, go! Go! Go, 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 go! Go, go, go! Run! Yes, he's gonna make it. Now, leave the rest behind, okay? They're not worth saving. It's not worth risking the others' lives. So what I'm not a fan of is that Yo left the center. I feel like if he wouldn't have researched Paladin, he could have masked Cavalier and he could have killed all that. But now he's given Vivi time to get more pike upgrades and to get more units in general. You know, also Vivi is looking to get through here into Lix's base. Lix doesn't have any way of defending. I guess Lix just, I don't know, he just asked Vivi to leave and Vivi left. But, you know, Paladin upgrade is huge, but it is a risky move. He does get the upgrade in, though. Bombard cannon from Yo. Oh, God. You know, Tim could be defeated. No, he has a new TC over here. It's fine. It's fine, chat. Paladins. Killing the plumes, because there's no pike buffer. But a forward castle from from Vivi. Sorry. Getting these names wrong. The stables are here for Mr. Yo. What's gonna happen in this game, man? It's crazy. Vivi has more population, but his teammates on the verge of defeat. Yo has Paladin, but he's losing his production buildings. Okay, now he's trying to make skirmishers. So Paladin and skirmishers would be very, very strong here. But he's lost a lot of grounds, and he'll continue to lose grounds. Okay, so I have a quick question for those watching, because people seem pretty engaged. Who are you rooting for? I don't know, you can probably tell. I'm kind of rooting for the comeback. I want Vivi to somehow pull this off. I still think it's unlikely. But I would like to see it. Problem is, Paladin and Elite Skirmisher counters Plume and Help. And Yo is still receiving Sling. So let's see what the Fat Dragon can do. Oh, okay. Lix is going to open the gate for him. Vivi's going to run right in. Vivi's going to run right in. He says, thank you very much, buddy. Thank you very much. Now Lix has nothing to defend, so Lix is in trouble. See, that's the benefit of being the Fat Dragon, man. All that extra space you take up holds the gate right open. And now Lix has to build towers, which is actually quite easy for him to do as Koreans. But not ideal, right? Not ideal. How's Tim doing? No, Tim! No, buddy! Please! Don't do it. Oh, he's fighting with Vils. Kill it. Kill it. 78 more hits. 77. Oh boy, that's trouble. He's rebuilding his TC. He's doing a heck of a job trying to stay alive. Petards from Vivi. Vivi wants the Halbs to join the fight. Let's go. But Vivi is losing to Yo on the front. And he's lost one castle. He'll lose 2 castles now. I think that Yo and Lix can do this now. Again, you can't lose momentum in Vivi's situation. You need to push, and Yo has done a good enough job, and he honestly has the weapons with his Civ to hold on here. Obviously, Yo has also been focusing on Tim. Tim is basically playing wall builders at this stage, which is a scenario game. He practices it for these scenarios, or situations, rather. Now, again, I could be wrong, because as I say that, Vivi spikes back up to 126 population. But it seems to me like Yo is doing a good enough job solo, and Lix is doing a good enough job solo, to where they should have the edge. Now, Vivi has come to help with 4 Halbs, and Yo notices it. He's attempting to micro the Bombard Cannon. So Tim will be safe. For now. For now. Bombard Cannon goes down. The castle goes down for Vivi, though. The Skirmisher Paladin combo doing work. And Vivi's only producing out of 1 castle, so he can't get many plumes back after he loses them. And now his population is at 100. Yo is here to help. I think the GG will be called now. It was a good attempt from Vivi and Tim, because Tim was dead very early on. But the strategy from Lix caught Tim off guard, caught Vivi off guard, and it has worked. And I'm surprised, you know, after game 1, Vivi and Tim, they had a phenomenal game 1. I figured that this would probably go to 2-2, but we're going to see a 3-1 at this rate. SY will probably take the lead. A forward castle, in-your-face castle from Yo. He has 57 military. Yeah, this has got to be the end. And wait, what is this? Lix built another tower? Where did Lix come from? Oh my god. Poor Tim. It's alright. Tim's going to rush it down. He'll have his pride after this. He killed 1 tower. That's funny. Tim has 2 kills and 48 deaths. And the GG has been called. Yeah, that's a Christmas gift for Tim, alright. Goodness. That was really interesting. Tim thought, and this is logical, that he would get tower rushed by Lix. He saw he was Koreans. He saw that Lix was on his way up to feudal. He guessed it because of the score dip. And so he said, okay, I need to go to the back stone, which he did. I need to go up the feudal, which he did. And then he's probably telling Vivi, hey, there's no towers here. And Vivi said, well, yeah, they're over here. So they went immediately to the guy who would need the stone. Now, it was fortunate that Vivi had a pretty bad map, because they could tower the gold, they could tower the stone, and the other stone could be walled. But a strong strat from SY. Strong strat from SY. Awesome games today. The strategies are getting more and more impressive. The Bedouins one was a bit iffy. I still don't get why Indians wasn't picked by Vivi and Tim, but we'll see what they can do here. They're not out yet. 211 kills for Yo. It's been the theme. Yo getting a lot of kills. Yo doing a lot for SY. That's normally how it goes. He's known as the best player in China for a reason. A lot of eco behind that, but he received a lot more sling from Lix because Lix wasn't dead. So that's why Yo could afford to make so many units. Vivi was fighting with mainly his own economy. Okay, so the next map will be... see, I was told that the previous one would be Ghost Lake. So I think this one is Ghost Lake. So they might have got the order wrong. So I think Ghost Lake will come up next. No Mayans for Ghost Lake. No Mayans available for Vivi and Tim. I wonder what civs will go with. We'll find out in a bit. Let me update that score. Deacon Blues 1982 says, huzzah! Finally got my Prime sub to work for T9 Official. Nice, Deacon. Thank you. Yeah, I see that. Thank you for the Prime sub. Tubington, Turtle Strong, Stick Norsk, Apple Fumble, Obadin, and Maverick 509 Gaming. Thank you guys all for the brand new subs. Urban, thank you for the 14 months. He said, logged onto my computer just for the shout out. Yeah, back to the TV, I guess. Thank you, bro. It's tier 2, 14 months. It's been longer than that, I know as well. Thank you again. Thank you again to Matt Just Salsa. Chat, if we could, to all my subs out there, if we could get some love in the chat for Matt Just Salsa, for those crazy donations earlier, that was insane. Even if you're not a sub, regardless, just get some form of love and thank you for Matt, because I can't do it alone. Thank you, Matt, and thank you everybody for the support today. It's awesome to have so many people here. We're not going to wait. We're going to jump right into the next game. And guys, we have Mr. Yo and Lix up 3-1 up against Vivi and Tim. This is China A versus China B. China B is SY, and they're winning. This is in the 2v2 World Cup event, organized by Riverplation, aka Nacho AOE, a Spanish streamer. He's a great guy, and let's get to it. This is Ghost Lake. On my stream, we call it Sandy Lake because I don't have the no snow mod on. So just pretend that the climate has been changing and it's no longer ice. Okay. Yo is playing as the Mayans in the red. It is Persians for Lix in the yellow. And then we have Spanish for Vivi in the north for Frantic. And then we have Berbers for Tim in the south. The civs for Vivi and Tim, and the only game they won was Persians and Ethiopians, right? They lost with Mayans in the previous game, which was Arena. I think Mayans is perhaps a mistake to use on Arena, because Mayans are very good. It's nice to have their mobility on these open maps. There's no takesies, backsies. Tim and Vivi, they can't get Mayans again. They have Berbers, known for their scouts and knights and camels and camel archers. And Spanish, known for their, well, their conquistadors and their paladins. So I think ideal compositions, this could be great for Frantic. You could have Spanish paladins, you could have Berber camel archers. But it's more difficult to get to those ideal compositions. Very easy for Licks to go scouts into knights and camels and stick with that all game. And very easy for Yo to just stick with archers. The center looks like 90s rock star with that hairstyle. Does he? Wait, does anyone see a hairstyle or a face on the center? I don't see it, man. I don't see it, but maybe I'm not looking at it the right way. Tom Bomb, if you want the info for this, sorry I haven't had time to change the info, or sorry, to show you the brackets in between the games. You can type !World Cup in the chat, and that'll give you all the tournament info, including the brackets. It's 2 people kissing. What on earth? Have you guys seen anybody kiss before? 2 people kissing. What are you looking at? 2 people kissing. I don't get it. I think you guys need to go on YouTube or something. Watch something other than my videos, because I don't see any people kissing there. That's weird. Well, anyway, I expect we'll see scouts from Licks, and we'll see archers from Yo. That is the norm. Did Yo just lame? Oh, Yo just lamed Vivi. I know pig. I know pig. Vivi, poor Vivi never has pigs, man. Never has pigs. Yo just stole his boar. So, let's see if Vivi can find this. Yo does have one back here Vivi could go for. Let's go, Vivi. You can do it, man. Oh, no. No, see it. See it. See it. See it. See it. See it. No. Oh, dang. Well, that's so unfortunate. Obviously, this is a tournament, so that is expected to lose your pigs. And that really sucks for him. It just shifted back into the fog of war as well. I don't think he'll be able to make it back. I am working on a no pig emote for Twitch. I can show you guys the pictures again if you haven't seen it yet. But back to the compositions. Archers for Yo in the north for his team. It will be scouts for Licks in the south. I'm sure of it. That's pretty standard. Now, I'm curious what will happen with Tim and Vivi, because both are strong scouts into night civs. So I think that we'll probably see Vivi go for... If he's about to build the barracks, he's going to completely ruin what I thought he was going to do. So don't go to gold or build the barracks, Vivi. Well, I don't know. I was going to say I think that he will go for scouts, but he's obviously not. And I thought Tim would go for archers, because it would make more sense to not have the Spanish player go man-at-arms into archers, because they don't get crossbow. So, it seems like scouts for Tim, and Vivi, having fallen behind, might attempt to go for man-at-arms or something into... I don't know what his follow-up will be. That's the problem. He can't go into archers as Spanish. That's a silly move. Now, Yo is going full wall, drush, and he will attempt to go for plumed archers. Well, this is a spoiler, but we saw Viper do this the other day. Yesterday. With Mayans. So perhaps if Vivi goes forward... Yes! Yes, 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 yes! He's going to go man-at-arms and forward. This is actually the perfect approach in this situation. If you expect someone to be going full wall and staying in Dark Age longer for a fast castle, go forward and tower them and break through their walls. And that will delay the fast castle. Whether that's 1v1 or team game, it's actually a great decision. Sucks for Vivi, though, because, you know, he obviously doesn't have the food, and now the Drush can delay him. But if he walls in his vills, which he's working on, this can work. This can work, and holy walls from SY. Goodness, they're going to have most of the map walled in a moment. Vivi arrives, and Vivi will get fortunate this game in denying the stone from Yo. And Yo has to know what's coming now, and he'll make another layer of walls. Vivi needs to tower. Vivi needs to tower. I like how Yo's second layer of walls is not immediately behind it. It's out of the line of sight of Vivi. Scouts from Licks, right? So this is dangerous because Licks will be making scouts. Licks could kill Vivi's vills. But, scouts from Tim as well, I believe. Yeah, there they are. So Tim can also get through and go right to Mr. Yo. So now Vivi needs another tower. Yep. He places the tower and Yo's walling up big time. So already Vivi has delayed Yo a bit, but he's not doing any damage really. He's just idling the villagers. We'll see if Yo will have the resources to advance to the next stage. Lix has gone for the massive wall off. And he will probably get it done. So, 13 minutes, full walls for SY. 13-minute walls. Insane. Can't say I'm surprised. Can't say I'm surprised. And it's a good strat. But, oh, Vivi's in! Vivi's in, okay. Well, I want this series to go beyond 5 games. So, I'm excited for that. I do feel a bit bad for Tim and Vivi at the moment, because last game was very unfortunate for a lot of ways. Or in a lot of ways. Already, this is a success for Vivi, I'd say. Because he's forcing a guy who needs stone to build towers. So that's good. Yo will not be able to build plumes as early. Yo will not go to Castle Age as early. But I fear that Vivi is in trouble because he does not have any ally scouts close by. And obviously Lix is going to loop around. Now Vivi sees that, and Vivi has a spear here, so he has to be careful how far he tries to go in. Man-at-arms are weak, but scouts are weak. And Vivi's walled in at home. So eventually Vivi could go into Conquistadors. Because he's also on stone, so both Vivi and Yo would like to go for Conquistadors at some point in this game. Yo is building the market. This is working, guys. Yo, look, he's kind of caught in between. Do I stay in Feudal Age or do I go to Castle Age? 400 food, 500 gold. He will probably buy some food now, but he doesn't have any real food income beyond a few berries and deer. And he's forced into a bunch of defensive towers. And Tim could be all over Yo in a second. This is working. Vivi lost his pig. He's building towers, and he's getting through. It's even open back here if he needs. Like, Yo is obviously frustrated. He has an Idleville here. He has not walled the backside. Where did Lix go? Lix has 5 military. Where is it? Does anybody see that? Oh, here it is. So he's actually on stone as well to make up for the stone he invested into stone walls. And probably because he expects Vivi to come here. And here he comes. Here he comes. And Lix is building his tower a while. Only 3 villagers are building that tower, though. And Vivi has Spanish builders. So since Vivi has Spanish builders, his tower will go up for sure. And I don't know if Lixus will stay up, but Lix comes in at the perfect time. Vivi needs these vills. He'll lose 1. And that's it. So it could have been worse for him, but nice job from Lix to build the tower and expect this. That's really strong play from Lix. He expected it. He picked off a villager, and now he runs back home. Yo is now on the way to Castle Age with very, very weak economy. But if he gets the plumes, I think that Vivi and Tim could be in trouble. Big fights with the scouts. There's some spears involved as well. You have to be careful, Lix. Lix wants to save his vills. He doesn't have an ally to help him. And I think Lix could lose 5. Because his tower will go down. The vills, well, they'll run into scouts if they leave. So Lix will lose 5. And let's keep in mind that Tim is completely safe back at home. And he's about to up to Castle Age for his team. So, man. Full walls from SY. But Vivi and Tim get in, and the comeback is on. And there's the signal from Vivi saying, hey, kill those vills. And there goes Tim. So Vivi's ecos, it's not horrible. He's still wide open at home with no walls, but he could advance to Castle Age soon himself. He will continue with the towers. Risky, 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 man. But it's Vivi. And Yo did lose a vill here, and I think Tim needs to probably come back. Tim needs to come back. Vivi needs to be careful. Run, Vivi. Actually, no, he can get it up. If he clicks it a lot, he can... Oh. Oh. Yeah, it goes up. Yeah, I think that tower is ill-advised. I get why he did it because it's on the farms. And it does force Licks into more. Let's see what Tim's presence here does. Well, same upgrades for both. Bloodlines and Scale Barding. They're both fighting underneath towers, and Tim... Wow, that could not have been closer, but Tim will lose his scouts, and Vivi will lose a... What? How did he not lose those vills? Okay, he survives with the 3 vills. Don't know what they'll do, but they're alive. Castle's up for Tim. I mean, Yo, sorry. Castle's up for Yo. He'll make plumed archers. Vivi is almost in the castle age. Beginning to wall a bit. No stone walls and a very open base. And, oh, also, Yo is in on Vivi's stone. The knights should be on the way for Tim. Tim has the strongest economy in this game by far. And Licks is really rattled. Is he slinging? Hold on a second. Is he slinging? I believe he must be slinging, Mr. Yo. That's the only explanation for him to have 0 res. Man, I need, for these team games, I need to add the alert I get when sling happens back. Because I didn't add it because in community games it's spammy. But yeah, Licks is slinging Yo, so it's all Mr. Yo now. And Mr. Yo will go full plumed archer versus a Castle Age Vivi and a Castle Age Tim. Nice micro from Vivi. But what's his plan? He needs Tim to protect him, I guess. Vivi's like, I don't know if I should leave here. Get back in, villagers. Dead. They're dead. What? How does he save these vills? If that's anybody else, those vills are dead a long time ago. I think it's me. I think I'm probably jinxing it. That's what it is. Curse of the commentator. Vivi's starting off with knights. They have 2 players going knights, huh? Well, Yo has a vill lead, and he's receiving resources. And he'll play very aggressive with this. He's on his way to his 2nd castle soon. Oh! Oh, I like it. I like it. Okay, so Tim is pushing Licks, recognizing a sling is on. And Licks is adding more stone walls. My god. Well, if he doesn't get the walls up, he's dead. And if he doesn't get the walls up, then Mr. Yo will not be attacking Vivi, and Vivi will have time to get back into this. Vivi has done extremely well considering her circumstances. Losing the pig. Half of the economy that Licks has is walling. The gate is halfway down. I wish that Tim was using the Mangonel to attack the gate. I think he would have been through already. And seems to me like Licks will keep this wall up for now. Yo is yet to send the plumes out. He will build a 2nd castle soon. Vivi's looking to get through with knights. Licks is looking to get through with knights here still. I don't see Licks keeping Tim out. If he walls anymore, he will wall to his TC. He's gonna try! He's gonna try! Now, the funniest thing would be if... Because Licks is probably be sending Vivi's Yo stone. The funniest thing would be if Yo has to send Licks stone to wall up. 3 layers of walls. Another layer incoming. Yo is going to build his next castle here, I suppose. He'll be on his way to Imp soon. That's why he's been so patient. He's waiting for Imp. And the layer of walls gets up, but for how long? You can't take your gold now, Licks. Oh! Oh! Yo wants to place his castle here. What? What kind of makes sense? Wow. And Licks is still walling. Oh my god. Man, I swear, if Tim would have used the attack ground hotkey to attack the stone wall alongside his ram, he could have been in a bit faster with these situations. Oh, this is not walled yet. I hope you have your gate hotkey set, Licks. Because the knights can come in. Here they come. Here they come. 3 layers of stone wall. Quick, get a villager and chop the 12 wood there and go through. Get anybody. Get something. Wow, Lix keeps him out again. Honey, he wouldn't kill his ram a lot, though. Like, if he did the attack round instead of clicking the piece of wall, he wouldn't kill it. At least not as much. And wow, Lix tried to keep those units trapped in there. That would have been clutch. But unsuccessful. So what's Vivi up to? Vivi was making a few knights, right? He's pretty much stopped. Vivi and Tim are more together as a team, but Mr. Yo will be in the Imperial Age. And Tim will soon click up to the Imperial Age himself. Really hard for me to know how this one will go, because it's 2 Castle Plume production from Mr. Yo. Mr. Yo has been the MVP of this series. He's been incredibly good. The castle means that Tim will no longer even try and get through. I think Tim now needs to keep an eye on Vivi. Help Vivi out for a while. And Vivi has a Mangonel, and the Mangonel will make Yo run, I guess. I think the reason Yo ran was not because of the Mangonel, but because he knows that Tim knows he's there, and because he needs his upgrades first. Those walls are like an onion. Many a layer, and it makes me cry. Yeah, man. But remember, you can't build on the sandy terrain. So, there is that, and Elite Plume on the way for Yo. That's a lot of knights. That's a lot of knights. Good start to the engagement for Tim. Probably something he needs to bail on now. Yep. And he does. So now Tim needs to wait for his upgrades in Imp. 2 castles for Yo. Tim will probably continue with Cavalier. Let's see. Yeah, only 2 stable production as well. Oh! Oh, he's building a castle here. This is great for Vivi, I'll tell you that much, because I think Yo will be distracted by this. Vivi's still in castle. He can't hold this on his own. Yo knows that. Yo will pressure, but Tim, he will try and bust through, and he's going with petards! He's going with petards. Now, here's the problem. Tim is kind of needed at Vivi's base. Vivi can't hold with Mangonels. Vivi's not even on its way to Imp. He can't do anything about this, and Yo wants to castle forward. But at the same time, with the petards now, the Cavalier, or what will soon be Cavalier, can run right through. And Vivi's already here with the knight. I don't even know how he got in there. Wait a second. Vivi has a villager back here, and he's contributing. He's contributing with a base. He has a whole new base, a whole new world back here. Of course he does. But Lix needs a whole new world, and he's deleting holes in all the walls he had, so he can leave to go to stone. Like, that will be his only purpose, just run to stone here. Well, there's the castle for Yo. Vivi needs to build a castle just to stall. Nice job from Yo. Quick gates and quick houses to allow his castle to, allow his villas the time to build the castle. And, I just don't know now. I mean, the fact is that Yo has a large army on top of Vivi. Vivi can't stop it. Lix, he can't stop Tim. Oh! Yo's been playing too much Force Nothing. He overchopped. Yo loses a dozen villagers in the blink of an eye. So now I'm really confused. Yo, he needs to deal with the Cavalier, but he also needs to kill Vivi. What does he do? Can he make enough plumed archers to deal with the Cavalier? I'm not so sure. Meanwhile, Lix is making another arena for himself, but he has no way of defending Yo's castle. And the GG's called. The GG's called. Yo realizes his economy is gonna die, Lix is gonna die, and Tim and Vivi hold on in this series. The score is now 3-2. Wow. What a game, man. That was so interesting. I'm really happy. Like, that is, I don't want to say karma, because there's nothing wrong with long and laming. It's a strategy in Age of Empires 2. But I'm happy that Vivi, you know, lost his pig, and Tim was up against full walls, and they were able to win. The forward castle from Tim was so clutch, though. That castle with the petard, that ensured that Lix wouldn't have the time to wall. And then once the Cavalier got in, of course they were a bit fortunate with the hole. They did a lot of damage inside Yo's base. So many people might be thinking, why did Yo not make halberdiers? Well, the fact is he wasn't really in the place to make halberdiers. To justify halberdiers, you'd need to be able to afford 4 to 5 different barracks, which is about 1,000 wood. Then you'd need to get the upgrades. Then you'd need to make the units. So it's not a simple thing, and I think he was thinking about it, but he simply didn't have the time. This strategy would have worked if Lix's walls would have held. I think the strategy would have worked then, because Yo, he wouldn't have lost his economy. He wouldn't have ever had to come back to deal with this, and it would have been all Mr. Yo and all Tim on the front, and Yo would have eventually had Hal Plume. Vivi wouldn't have been an imp, but that's why Tim had to break through, and he did it. He did it. That was really well played. Also, well played Vivi, because had he not gone forward, he would never have delayed Yo like he did, and he would have never have had delayed Lix like he did with the towers and whatnot, and the sneak base just cracks me up still, man. That was 275 wood, 100 stone that he put into a TC building with 1 villager. But I guess it paid off, man. It paid off. Yeah, I remember there was one vill. There was so much to look at. He must have just escaped into the corner, but at that point I'd forgotten about them. Alright, 49 kills for Tim. There actually weren't a lot of kills in this game. And we're moving on, guys. We're moving on. We are not finished yet. They launched the game already. So I was too busy reviewing. They launched the game. Okay. Well, 1 second. I can sort this. I like the games being very fast, but I don't like how I don't have time to discuss things in between. But then again, I'm just a picky guy. So to all the subs, all the alerts, I will give you guys attention and thank you all after the game here. Okay, cool. It's working. I was scared it wasn't going to work for a second. I was really scared it wasn't going to work. That would have been bad. All right, let's do this. So we're a little bit behind. And this map is called... Oh, this is Valley. This is Valley. And no Indians still. Okay, so we're all caught up now. Thank you all for watching today. It's been a blast. Whether you're watching on YouTube or Twitch, these games have been amazing. This is part of the 2v2 World Cup tournament, and currently it is 3-2, and SY just needs one more win. That would be Yo and Lix. Yo has played extremely well. Lix has played, all players have played extremely well, and Yo has Ethiopians, which he loves, and Lix has Berbers. Then across the battlefield, we have Tim. Tim is playing as the Mongols. Oof, that's tough, because Berbers are like a straight counter to Mongols in late game. And then you have Franks for Vivi. Okay. So in the event that Vivi and Tim wins this, the final game will be on Rift Islands for those wondering. So lots of exciting things to look forward to. This map is called Valley, and there's plenty of shorefish in the middle. That's why I'd mentioned Indians. Indians collect shorefish very quickly with their villagers, but the thing about Valley is the valley's almost too far away. It's almost too risky to send vills out in large numbers, maybe. So Vivi, he sends a couple vills out. Now you see the other players doing that. Now Yo's actually furthest from the middle, I think. I am curious why no Indians at all for Vivi and Tim, but Franks can still fare very well here. So we have Ethiopian archers versus Frank scouts to start, most likely. Could see man-at-arms and towers on this, because taking control of the pawns is important. Then you have Berbers. They will probably go scouts versus the archers, I assume, from Tim. And to answer your question, Exal, because you're right, Mangadai are very strong for Mongols. Camel archers are an anti-cav archer. So camel archers are not only one of the best unique units in the game right now, but I think 120 Mangadai die to 80 camel archers if you're comparing units with full upgrades. So there's a big difference. Worth pointing out, though, that if we do get to super late game, Mongols have Siege Onager and Siege Ram. That's something that Berbers lack, so Mongols do have that. But if you're comparing the unique units, yeah, Berbers are way better. Also, Berbers have cheaper knights and camels. They get full upgrades on Cavalier. They get full upgrades on heavy camels. That is not the case for Mongols. So there's a few things. I think it's got to be Vivi then, right? Vivi's Franks. He is the best paladin civ in the game. He's next to an archer civ. And what better way to prove himself than versus Mr. Yo? So maybe Vivi can get in the walls that are going up and pick off villagers with his scouts. Yeah, Sono, I see that, man. We're near 2,500 viewers. It's wild, man. It's wild. Again, thank you all for, every single... Thank you all for all the support you give me. Not just today, but it's crazy. Like, the fact that This happens frequently now, and I I don't know if I'll ever get used to it. I obviously love it. I can perform well when there's a lot of viewers, but it still doesn't feel real sometimes. So thank you. Does Yo not have Loom? Oh, Yo does have Loom. Vivi, nice. Avoids a TC fire. Vivi sees that Yo's walling up nice and early. Notice how Yo's not on the shorefish at all? That tells me that he is going up late intentionally. Oh, maybe not. I mean, he might be later because he wasn't on the shorefish, but that feudal time is very delayed for Mr. Yo. Let me double check I'm correct on my assessment here. Scouts for Licks? Yeah, it will be scouts for Licks. He'll build the stable there. And what about Tim? I guess he could go scouts as well. Yeah, he will. Okay. So double scouts for Frantic, I think. It's gotta be. Yep. Alright. A little bit confused by that. I'm not at all confused by the walls that Mr. Yo's placing. He'll need the walls. He doesn't have any mobility if he's going archers, so walls will help him. But you can't full wall this base easily. And Vivi will likely try and keep this open. Yep. Vivi also hits feudal, so he can kill Yo's scout. And Yo will use his Vil. It's so important that Yo gets the walls up. Oh, we have a forward tower from Tim. He is towering the pond, and he's right on top of Licks. This is not a good start for SY. Here in Game 6, Tim and Vivi taking the initiative in more ways than one. Yo, very passive, very slow. And Licks has now lost his best source of food income. And Tim is Mongol, so he's going to take these deer, and he's going to love that. There are more scouts coming. There's got to be. More scouts coming for Vivi. Does he go towards Licks? Do they 2v1 Licks, or do they try and open the gap here? Vivi probably assumes this is fully walled, so he won't go that way. Man-at-Arms from Yo incoming. Very delayed. Oh, and he's attacking the house. Yo assumes this is fully walled. And will Vivi be able to quick wall this? One more tap, one more tap. He's got it. So it's not fully walled, of course, but it delays the Man-at-Arms and gives Vivi time. And Vivi knows this is open. Can he make a run for this and gate it off? No. Too slow. But they're at Licks' base. Tim is here, and Vivi is here. Really strong play from Licks. Look, walled in most of his vills on lumber. He's actually overchopped. No, he hasn't overchopped, sorry. No hole there, but that villager's stranded out here. I want this to go to a game 7. Whoa, what is this? I think Tim was trying to get the deer, and Licks has found some free vills. He's killed one, he'll kill two. This is not what Tim wants right now. And the micro from Licks, superb, he's going to kill another one. Look at that, pulling the weak scout away. 2 vills down for Tim. And Licks, he lost 1, but that was it. Here come the Man-at-Arms from Mr. Yo. The Man-at-Arms will meet the scouts from Vivi and the TC fire. Still like the position for Vivi and Tim a bit more, but certainly was not good to see so many vills go down for Tim. See, this is why you go archers. This is why having someone go archers would be really nice. You have the archer follow-up for Yo. And you can't wall out archers. So if someone had archers, Tim would have all these scouts here, and then the archers could kill the vills beyond the walls. So easy to wall out scouts. And oh, the gate's open, Vivi. Vivi? Oh no! Vivi let the gate open. Oh no, it was just a prank, bro. It was just a prank. What are you doing? Oh god. That dumb villager. That's when you delete the villagers. Send the other villagers a message. Delete them. That way they won't make that mistake again. And not the easiest fight for Vivi because of the spear, but he'll kill it. So in the end, he's cool. It's fine. This is where double scout starts to get weaker, because you don't want to create more scouts. It's expensive to do that, and you want to get to Castle Age. And it's very easy for Yo to make archers non-stop until he clicks up. Yo has assumed this is blocked off, by the way, so that's wide open. Here comes Lix after these two vills again, and Tim is here with the spearman. Oh, Lix will kill the spearman, but Vivi's coming to help. It's fine. So, good couple moments for Lix. It's been a weird game for Yo, but of course, it's Mr. Yo. When he gets a big ball of crossbows, he could beat anybody. And he's not threatened in the back of his base because Vivi's currently distracted. Alright. Where's the tower? Where did the tower go up for Tim? You see how heavy he is on stone? Oh. So he's towered the front. Oh, I'm an idiot. I saw that. I'm sorry. It's been a long day. Okay, I didn't have... Yeah, excuses. Don't need the excuses. It's been a long day. Of course he towered the front. I said that. But anyway, he's on stone heavily, which makes me think he'll go into Mangadai. Which is really interesting, because he'll go Mangadai before Lix will ever go to stone to go Camel Archer. Which means it could work. But, oh god, no, Vivi's in trouble. He's on his way to Castle Age. Yo, it will get at least 2 Vill picks, and this is when you wish you were Berbers and you had the fast Vills. Vivi has to run, man. Guess it could be worse, right? He'll just run forward, or run over to Tim's base. Yo has resources to click up to Castle Age himself soon, but he will be the last one up. Guys, I am also surprised that Indians wasn't picked, but so far, no hole. Okay, so far, so good, I'd say, for Vivi and Tim. I like the fact that Tim's on stone. I like that. I think this could work. He'll go for Mangadai immediately. It's really tough to mass them because they're quite expensive and you need a lot of upgrades for them to be good, but just to get that started is nice. And then they have their Archer Knight combination, which is what they haven't really had yet. They'll have Mangadai for archers, and then they'll have Vivi going knights. Oh, geez. Well, here are the villagers from Vivi. We found them. And he didn't lose anything, actually. Didn't lose anything, so he's just fine. And now he can make knights. Oh, interesting. Here comes Mr. Yo. He saw the stone because Lix was there before. So he will deny the stone and kill a Vill. Now this is why going straight Mangadai is tough. Because if these archers aren't killed, he'll never get the stone to build the castle. Oh, I lied. He has the stone to build the castle. Okay. Also, Vivi will be sending knights, so he can clean that up. If he cleans it up before they're upgraded, it'd be really good for him, but Tim losing more villagers... Oh man, it could have been even worse, but at least he's keeping his vills alive. I think a castle right here would be best, but he thinks... Where's he building this thing? Tim, where are you building it? Oh, a forward castle? What? A forward castle? Oh my god! Is this Fat Dragon or is this Tim? No! No, 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 no! Don't do this, man! Don't do this! Quick, stop building the house, get everything, and tap the castle, Tim. It's gonna go up! It's gonna go up! It's gonna deny the main gold of Lix! My god, that's a ballsy move. My god, that's a ballsy move. That's insane. The whole series could have been lost right there. Such a gamble, man. Such a gamble. Well, it still sucks for Tim. Now, I still think the defensive castle makes more sense because then you have units close by to defend from Yo. But that's what Vivi's for, I assume. And let's look at the stone income for Lix. Yeah, he is on stone now, but it'll take some time for him to get to his camel archer. So this is where Tim needs to push. I guess the Vills who built the tower, they ran forward and built the castle. Tim does not have a lot of economy, and to make Mangadai and Castle Age, it really hurts your eco. It's not easy. And Well, Berber camels are great. Lix is making Berber camels. Counters the knights, of course. We'll counter the Mangudai in these numbers too. That's... Anyway, I don't need to say it again. Castle Age Mangudai is really tough, but maybe that's the best play. Here come the crossbows and the camels from Yo and Lix. And the TC will be denied. Oh god. Oh god. Vivi, he doesn't have his knights anywhere close by. He's going to lose villagers to this, and this could be the game, honestly. So many villas going down. Lix is still slightly troubled at home, of course, but he has TCs. He has stone secured. He could build his own castle. And it's just... Frantic seems stretched. Tim has nothing at home now that the castle's forward. Vivi had to be there to help the castle stay up and... Well, not stay up, but get up and then to protect the Mangudai. And now Vivi has nothing at home. And now Vivi, 44 vills versus the 50 of Yo. Yo has a free boom at home. It's a free boom for Lix as well. I mean, he's defending versus the Mangudai. He's on 3 TCs, way more vills than Tim. This is going to be a very difficult comeback now for Frantic. Because I can only assume Lix will get his castle up now. Tato, they didn't choose Indians, if that's what you're talking about. No Indians on Bedouins, and no Indians on this map for Vivi and for Tim. It's a great ballsy castle, but I don't see what it accomplished. Didn't accomplish anything, right? You have a mobile unit as well. Would have been better to build the castle defensively, I think, and build up from home. And now Vivi, he needs to clean this up. And there's so many crossbows from Mr. Yo. And Mr. Yo's on 40 military. 40 military units. And look at the instant reposition from him. If he was out in the open, he would have lost his crossbows already. But to sit there while still pressuring here is insane. 28 kills for him, 8 deaths. Lix, 23 kills, 9 deaths. And he sends the camels over Lix. This is game over, I think. So many military at Vivi's base. And the teamwork from Lix and Yo, really impressive. Really impressive. When they've fallen behind in this series, they've always found a way back. Well, no, they haven't, but they've many times found a way back, or they've had the strategy to come back. Now, I want Tim and I want Vivi to come back, but everywhere I look, Vivi's losing vills, you know? 49 vills versus 63 of Mr. Yo. And look at Yo. He's all over Vivi, man. Look at this. Vivi hasn't realized. Now that's going to be frustrating. When he looks at that later and sees the dead bodies, because he probably didn't hear the attack noise or something, yeah, he's going to be frustrated, and GG. Wow, well, it was exciting there for a moment. It was very exciting when Tim built the forward castle, but in all honesty, I actually missed that Lix's castle was being denied, but in all honesty, Lix still had his stone, he still had a gold, he had a 20 vill lead over Tim, and... as kind of expected. I mean, Mongols, they don't make too much sense here. Berbers is much stronger because they don't have an awkward transitional period. They can go immediately into knights and camels, and because Lix could do that, and Tim couldn't, it was Lix and Yo versus Vivi, and Vivi was kind of on his own, so it's not necessarily his fault. It would take Tim time to mass Mangudai, it would take time for him to get upgrades, and it's not easy. Not easy, as you can see. This is what good players do. They realize that Tim would need time. They avoid the castle. They go right to Vivi and kill him. Well played this whole series, though, both teams. So that means that China B, who just got that final win, that's Yo and that's Lix, they're going to move on in this event, a 2v2 World Cup. Awesome series, though. I mean, that could arguably be the best series of the tournament. Tata might have something to say about that because he's of course in the tournament for Spain, but yeah, it was a great set, and now we know which team is the best Chinese team to move on. Okay, 43 units killed for Yo, as I said. Economically, he was ahead. I think that in that Civ matchup, it wouldn't be a bad idea for Tim to start with archers. Start with archers, because you still get to feudal age faster. And then you start with archers, go into Mangudai later in the game. I don't know. Maybe go cav archers before Mangudai, I don't know. That way you don't have that transition. Like Tatsu did that in a 1v1 recently in a game versus Doubt, and it was really nice.